We got the Vic with us today because he is not feeling good. He is baby mode today. He's just sleeping really much in my lap. But the temperature dropped like 40 degrees. So he's hanging out today. Oh, I am so tired. Another long work day. And the cold weather just makes me want to bundle up and sleep forever. I don't know who all is going to be watching the VOD, but we're probably going to wait a couple of minutes to see who all pops in, and then we're going to go. You can feel free to read the screen, but then I usually read the screen whenever people start popping in. I'm excited to play this game. Wow, you guys were fast. Hi! Oh, you guys are so excited. Alright, hell yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah, Vic is with us today. He is not feeling good. So he's just chilling in my lap. I think it's because the temperature dropped like 40 degrees. I think sometimes that messes with his head. So he's got a big old headache, and he's being cute on my lap. It's gonna be a very funny juxtaposition. And maybe, if we're lucky, you guys get to hear him horf whenever he's annoyed, then I'm excited. I have clicked around on this a little bit. I haven't started it. I know there's content warning, so I'm going to read that out whenever we get to it. It seems like they do it multiple times, just for safety. Like it says, this game includes explicit and dark themes such as major character death to both the characters and the player, murder, sexual assault, non-consensual touching, /sex, implied abuse, bullying, usage of firearms and weapons, guns, swords, sharp weapons, drugging, violence, and more. They have a very detailed link. We are playing the free version, which will not have any not safe for work content, because as I was looking at the itch.io page, they said that streaming was fine, but only if it's the free one. No paid version. Oh, everyone's getting mad. Okay, hold on. 1 of 7. Oh, verse. This helps me test something out real quick, though, because I put in something new, and I don't know if it'll let anyone do it or not. But let's see. Oh. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't do it. Alright. I'll have to figure that out later. My espresso shot earnings. Oh, it says open it. Okay, how do I do that? I appreciate all the espresso shot earnings. Oh god, okay. I was trying to figure something out, but it's not working. So that's fine. Are the ads over? Are you guys surviving well? Oh, lordy. I'm happy for the espresso shot earnings. It's very good. I should be able to cut the music off though, because it's gonna have its own. So we can do that. I like the creator's signature. I think it's nice. You're back? Okay, I just went to the main screen. It's got spooky music at the main screen. And I'm wondering if I misunderstood what this game is supposed to be. I like the menu music. It's pretty boppin'. I know little to nothing about this game. Oh yeah, see, I was trying to test out that viewer attack thing. I can't get it to pop up on my phone. But supposedly you can tap anywhere on the screen and it'll throw an object. it'll make a noise. But I might not have it configured right, so if you try it once or twice and it's not working, don't try it anymore until I try to fix it again. And I can see if I can redeem points. But let me go ahead and read the content stuff. So it's got screen shaking emotion, graphic violence with blood, gore, and beheadings. Major character death, player character death, uses of weapons, guns and pistols, sharp objects and knives, drugging, implied child neglect and abuse. They had some other ones. I saw somnophilia as one. Oh, you had it to work. Oh, that's cute. Oh, so Opasi, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Do you have any heads up that we should know about this game besides the content warnings? Like, am I wrong if I view this in kind of like a romantic lens, even though the characters are awful people or something? I'm excited. It did scare me whenever I loaded it in and this eye popped up as a giant loading screen. And I was like, ugh. Yeah, we're only doing the unpaid to be nice to the person who made it, so we don't make anyone upset. And you can see it's by a Fantasia kit, and they got Twitter and Tumblr and oh, they got a Tumblr. I'll follow them on Tumblr. Let's see. Auto forward time. Is there a timer in there? Are there voices in the game? I like the voices being a little bit louder than the music, because sometimes it gets drowned out. Okay. Oh, thank you, Verse. Definitely has a way to... How do you say this without spoiling it? If you accidentally spoil something, no one will be mad. Just for clarification. Because the intent behind it would be accidental, rather than being mean or something. Oh. Alright, cool. I'm excited. Are we ready to go on this dumpster truck? I mean, that made it sound rude to the game. That's not what I meant. Anyway. Dumpster truck, because we're jokingly trash, not the game. This game's still in development and incomplete, may be prone to encountering some bugs and errors. I know previously I said that today's stream would be short, but the plans I had set for after today's stream got rescheduled, so we're just taking our time with this one now. This game's rated 18+. Minors are strictly prohibited from playing this game or engaging in any shape or form of the game. Creator doesn't condone any of the things that happen. Visual novels for creative ventures and is pure fiction and should not be romanticized or replicated in real life. Okay. Ooh, the connection with it. Alright, thank you for the heads up. Oh, okay. We have read all of these content warnings already. And we already read the ones in the game's menu, which had some other ones. So we are good. And understanding that you are able to differentiate between fiction and reality. I am solid on that. It was many a year ago, in the kingdom by the sea, that a maiden lived whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee. Oh, I haven't thought about that in a while. The beloved. Day 1. I tried to look at the character profiles, and I like them. I like how everyone... Ooh, look at the font. I like how everyone looks so far. And class dismissed. By our next meeting, I need a full report on everyone's poem that they have chosen. I will not accept one paragraph. I need 2 whole pages filled with words. Everyone got that? The classroom broke into a series of "Yes, Professor," and some spared no time packing their things, eager to be dismissed and disregarding the teacher altogether. Your literature teacher packs up her own things and exits the classroom. Oh, there's no voice acting at the moment? Okay, so that was just like a future setting. Alright. The moment your literature teacher left, the classroom broke into small groups as each student gathered up to meet with their respective cliques. I'm not running on all cylinders today, so I'm gonna get tongue-tied a little bit. I'm sorry. Some engaged in conversation while some spared no time in exiting the classroom. A yawn escaped your lips. R.A.P. Biniuri. You turned your head and observed the clouds outside. The clouds are shaded in dark gray. The sky's once blue color is now turning the same lighter shade of gray. The looming threat of rain made you click your tongue in irritation. Just my luck. I didn't bother to bring an umbrella too. Now fuck umbrellas. We go out there. We're strong. We can handle some rain. Standing up from your seat, you were about to grab your bag when you felt a tap on your shoulder. Ah! Look at her! Turning around, you come face to face with cobalt blue eyes. Her blonde hair shaped like swirls on its end, dyed in blue and pink, complementing her entire ensemble, even if it's just a white button-up that clearly looks too small for her. She wants those boobles out. Hot pink jacket tied around her waist and the school's black shirt, or black skirt. Her hand, which you assumed was the same one that tapped your shoulder, hung up in the air. She seemed unsure whether to continue or not, judging from the way her eyebrows furrowed downward while biting over her glossed lower lip. Damn. She turned slightly, her head not fixated on you, but rather on whoever's behind her. You hear her whisper something under her breath before eventually composing herself and turning her focus solely on you now. Hey, you're going to lunch with us, right? I mean, you should. I don't usually see you in the cafeteria often, so you must not be eating properly. How can you keep up with classes looking like that? Excuse me? Took a step back, clenching the strap of your bag as you glare at the blonde woman before you. Who's this woman? Who does she think she is? I think she's flirting really badly. Judging from the woman's expression, she finally came to realize the words that came out of her mouth. Brittany! Of course her name's Brittany. A familiar voice interrupted the two of you. You turned your head to where the voice was and there stood none other than your old friend. It's really insensitive of you. Imagine if someone else told you how you look. His familiar orbs of our azure blue, nearly replicating lapis lazuli. Lazuli? And his chocolate brown hair tied loosely in a low braid. Best Boy Crow. Oh, Trashy, do you know this game too? Sun-kissed skin enhanced his handsome features adorned with a black long-sleeve button-up and an indigo vest to add to his clean look. He is also known as Jericho? Ichibod Crane. Okay. Crow for short, and class representative and close friend of yours. Well, the only close friend you have? Alright. Aw, I like how he looks. He's kinda cute. Crow made his way to your side. With a hand on his hip, he reprimands the blonde-haired woman next to you, and the said woman just shrugged her shoulders. You place a hand over your beating heart. The close proximity between you two caused a blush to appear on your cheeks. Oh, you played it before. Okay, alright, I got two people to rely on if I fuck up really bad. I don't know who all is a love interest. I saw that there were 7 characters total in this, but I don't know if all of them show up in the demo or not. No matter how many times you get close to him or him getting near you, you'll never get used to it. I thought we were friends. What is this? Ooh. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Never mind. Maybe these two are the love interests. Uh-oh. This doesn't seem good. Oh, no. Should they rat me out? Rat me out for what? Only 2, yeah. I know. He looks so good. I'm mad about it. He looks like he would listen to the Family Jewels album. Do you understand? The Marina and the Diamonds? And I don't know how right I'd be, but we'll see. Zola aura just gives a warm feeling in you. The butterflies in your stomach thrashing and raging, begging to be released. Damn, those butterflies. Yeah, you might have a bit of a crush on them, just like a little. The woman named Brittany just rolled her eyes, seemingly used to Crow's reprimands. You're the one who insisted on me initiating talk. You could have done it more nicely, you know? Like a simple invite alone? Crow gives you a small smile while handing out something to you. You look down to see it. It was your ID. You dropped this, by the way. Oh. Yeah, ID shows my name, Scumberly, along with my pronouns. And her boob is nice. Yeah. Ah, that's a nice way to do this. Okay. Stare down at your own ID picture and you see yourself more... Ah, cool, okay. Neat, I like that. Use feminine terms will be called girl/woman. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. You looked at your ID... Sorry, I think that was a neat little way to do that. I don't think there has to be a neat little way to do it in every game, but I think that was a fun way to do it. You looked at your ID picture, seeing a young woman and reading your name with your eyes. Scumberly. Yeah. Your fingers briefly brushed against his. You bit your lip and then muttered a small thank you before pocketing your school ID. Crow gives you a closed-eyed smile, returning with his own thank you, then turns his attention back to Brittany. Following up behind Brittany were 3 more people. Ooh, hold on, give me a second. Sorry, Vic started twitching a lot like he might, he was getting irritated by the cord, and I was worried it was hurting his head. Alright, following up behind Brittany are 3 more people. The tallest of the 3 is a sporty-looking man, clad in green and yellow jersey with the number 10 settled in the front. Ben 10, alright. His eyes are a bright green, and that color that kind of reminds you of green apples. His skin is a beautiful brown that nearly matches his curly hair, while his stubble is nestled on his chin, indicating his maturity. Ooh! The second tallest is a man in a purple hoodie. His eyes are sharp and slanted with long lashes, adorned with teal-colored orbs underneath. His pants are all ripped up. Can I get this to go away? Ooh! Ah! No, I can't get it to go away. Okay. His tights are, like, it's kind of all ripped up. I want to see it! I want to see it! Okay. His hair is straight and styled into a hime cut, save for a short strand tied with a red ribbon and a low ponytail bound with the same shade of red behind him. Oh. He looks uninterested with what's going around at the very moment. And at last but not least is the shortest of the 3. Oh my god, she's so small in comparison. Maybe within the group as well. Her skin pale, her face dotted with a few freckles, and then there are rectangular shaped frames shield away arch orbs. Her hair is short and loose like waves. She wears a black button up under an orange vest and a black skirt matching Brittany's. Damn, Britt, you sure are bad at socializing. Hey Gio, seems like you have some competition. The tall jock clad in yellow and green sports jersey lets out a loud laugh, causing some of the students to look at him. No, he makes that, yeah. Brittany's face grew red from embarrassment. Gritting her teeth, she crossed her arms while tapping her foot on the ground. This only made the jock laugh even harder. Shut the fuck up, Daryl. You're causing a scene. So if you were me, you would have done just as badly. That is, in fact, not true. I'm a lovable guy. Uh-huh. Oh yeah? As the 2 argue, you turn your head towards the other tall male in a hoodie. Sensing your gaze, he looks down at you, his hand still in his hoodie's pockets. Nice staring contest. Alright, a sudden chill went down your spine. You quickly averted your gaze away from the imposing male, and landed on the meek girl in orange right beside Brittany. Oh, she's so small. She hasn't spoken since she arrived with the 2 males, but judging from how attached she is to Brittany, you're guessing that she's closer with her than the rest of the group. She kind of reminds you of yourself when you were still new to the school with no one to talk to. No, it is not. No, it is not. Not until Crow befriended you, of course. Not that short. Were you as clingy to Crow back then as she is with Brittany now? Sorry, they're kind of a rowdy bunch, huh? You are so nicely dressed in comparison to everyone. What happened? Hope you're not too overwhelmed. They sure are something. Look, Scum, you're still free not to join us for lunch if you're uncomfortable. Meeting new people is overwhelming. Just want to let you know that I respect your feelings and that you matter. Crow reassures you with a worried smile on his lips. He wants to jump Crow. Everyone wants to jump Crow! The chat is horny for Crow! You turn back to the group. The tall jock named Daryl, now bothering Gio with an arm around his shoulder. The visible irritation in Gio's face did nothing to sway Daryl's happy-go-lucky personality. Brittany leans on one of the desks with her arms crossed, striking a conversation with the bespectacled girl next to her. A nicely tailored vest. That's the difference. It's tailored. What's your name? I didn't seem to catch it last time. Crow glanced at where you were pointing at. Ah, why are we pointing? Jessie? You can call her Jess for short. She's best friends with Brittany. She kind of reminds me of you back when we first met. All shy and quiet. Only that you're cuter. Alright, calm down. Crow pinches your cheek playfully and you groan, but your mock annoyance is betrayed by the small smile that formed on your lips. How the time flies, huh? That's right. You got yourself acquainted with Crow in your sophomore year. Before you left for the city, your father emphasized the importance of having companions and establishing friendships, most especially in this college. Olympias University, the largest university in Titan City. There's so many Titan things in these games. It's known for having the best facilities and the best education, but you're guaranteed to rise up from the bottom to the top. Well, that's what the advertisement tells you. You try getting to know people during your first year, but to no avail. No matter how much you try to make friends, you just couldn't seem to bring yourself to talk to anyone. And to your dismay, no one seems to even bother to befriend you. Sure, you would like to talk to a few classmates for sure, you would talk to a few classmates for projects, but nothing goes beyond that. As if they're scared of you. Or like, disgusted? You can never tell. The looks you've received have all been mixed signals, some bad, some out of pity. That is until Crow came into the picture. Among everyone, Crow was the sole person who approached you with the intention of friendship. He's flirting a lot. I don't think that's it. You were wary of him at first. Why would someone want to befriend you out of nowhere? Your past experiences caused you a suspicion. You had a history of people who tried to earn your good graces because you were somehow beneficial to them. You thought Crow would be the same case, so you ignored him. But then he kept following you. Like a dog. Trying to strike a conversation with you at every now and then. You tried to dismiss him, ignoring his presence as usual, but Crow was determined to break down your walls and kept insisting on tagging along until it annoyed you once. Just once. Because until it happened on the last day of your first semester in your sophomore year, you fell victim to one of the school's biggest hidden flaws. If Crow wasn't there to stop them, you would not begin to imagine what might have happened to you. Ah! My goodness, you're unarmed. You're concerned about me? How about you? You're the one who's hurt. What the fuck happened? Thinking back, you thought he was crazy and stupid. He looks really hot. Taking blow after blow until the perpetrators got bored and left the both of you. What is happening at the school? That's the whole point, right? As long as you're not hurt, this is nothing. Hey, you're crazy, you know that? He just laughs it off, wincing due to the bruises on his face. I never got your name, crazy person. I think we still call him crazy person. Jericho? Is that how you say that? I hope that's how you say that. Jericho Ichibad. Just call me Crow. Nice to meet you, Crow. You brought him to the clinic that day and you became inseparable ever since. Beat me up until you die. It's all good. Right after that incident, Crow promised to never get in fights again and continues to keep his word on it. You really owe it to him. Girl, I think he likes you. You look back up to Crow. He tilts his head. Something on your mind? Nothing. Just happy that you're my friend. He looked at you with raised eyebrows, probably surprised at how random your thoughts seem. He didn't say anything as he let your words sink in, and his usual gentle smile appeared on his face. Crow inched closer to you, indicating that he feels the same way. Brittany must have taken notice of the amount of time wasted in talking and arguing as she turns to you one last time. We talked a little bit too much. We'll end up not getting any seats if we keep this up. So, are you coming with us or not? Caught up in your little daydream about the past, Brittany finally spoke up, catching your attention. You look back at Crow, recalling his words. Don't force yourself. Don't force. I can't talk. Don't force yourself to join if you're still uncomfortable. You then decided to. Oh. What did I do in college? I ate alone all the time. Actually, I drove around a lot on my lunch break. Let's see. There's a lot of people. I kind of don't want to go with them. The library would be fine. Yeah. I'll head to the library today. With a hand on her hip, Brittany stares at you as if waiting for you to change your mind. Sorry, Brittany, your boobles are great, but not tempting enough. Seeing that your decision is set, she loosens a sigh. Brittany wordlessly turns on her heel and walks out of the classroom, the rest of her friends following behind her. Crow, however, stayed in his exact same spot right next to you. Noticing this, Gio, the one in the hoodie, stops. Crow? Oh, he speaks. Huh? Oh, be right there. What are you staring at me for? You freak! Go! Crow paused shortly to sneak a look at you before walking towards Gio, his movement slow and hesitant to leave your side. Girl! Oh, he's like Rio. Although Crow did not give you a farewell glance before reaching his friend, it was Gio who glared at you over his shoulder. His gaze was intimidating and intense. It reminded you of the way predators look at their prey. What did I do to you? You felt your heart stop beating for a moment. Confused by his apparent stillness, Crow was about to question his blue-haired companion, but Gio waved his hand dismissively. Before Crow could notice anything, Gio breaks his gaze away from yours and ushers his friend out of the classroom. You let out the breath you didn't know you were holding. Who's that about? I wish I knew. He gave me nothing but short glances and glares ever since I met him. Maybe he's jealous. Maybe he likes how we look. Maybe he wants to be us. We're gonna be the vain-headed approach with this. Maybe I'm not suited to be part of their group. You shake away the negative thoughts attempting to plague your mind. Returning to your original plan, you packed up your things and proceeded to head out. Next stop, the library. First, that's how we go about life. We cannot be tempted by all boobs. Only the right boobs. Ah! RJ. Okay. The rowdy hallway buzzed with noise as sweaty and tired students made their way back to their respective classes. Some presumably headed to the cafeteria for a break. Several headed to the same direction you were walking. With the library door within your reach, a smile etched onto your face. You opened the doors, immediately greeted by the familiar scent of coffee and library books. You've always been awed by your university's fancy facilities. In fact, the library surprisingly operates as a small cafe, serving coffee to the students who need it early in the morning until afternoon. This is bitchin'. Okay, the hostess's boobs are great. For a reason. And we're paying for their time. It's a win-win. It is a huge hit amongst everyone, and you understand why. Caffeine is the fuel to a college student's weary soul. The aroma of coffee somehow lightened your mood. Anticipating a short moment of peace within the library, you made your way towards your usual seat by the large window near the cafe section. Your mood dropped when you spotted an unfamiliar face occupying the chair you've come to favor. You groaned. Me too, buddy. That's what I do. It was great. What should I do about this? Kick him out! Oh. They're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna sit beside him. You don't feel like talking to him or causing trouble on your end. With a sigh, you give up the thought of getting your seat back as you drag a spare chair and placed it beside his. We're such an ass. He looks at you from the corner of his eye. You thought he would say something, but he didn't seem to mind since he brought his attention back to the book he was reading. You continued with your report, occasionally tapping your pen onto the paper with furrowed brows. You were thinking too hard for this stupid task, but your brain came up empty for words. You feel him glance at you from time to time, but you paid him no mind now that your report took priority. Time passed and eventually lunch break was nearing its end. You groaned, half your paper still empty. You weren't able to get much work done. All you did was probably go over the poem over and over multiple times in hopes that a sudden will to write will hit you. That's what I do. And sadly, it did not. You hear the guy beside you standing up from his seat. You nearly forgot about his presence, and he heads out of the library, leaving you alone at the table. You take a glance at the wall clock, cursing at the time. Seeing that there's no point in wasting more time here, you made your way out of the library as well. Very uneventful, but that's fine. We took the loner approach. And nothing bad happened here, so that's good. Once you reached the hallway, the stranger from the library was already gone, but what surprised you was Crow's presence followed by the same group of friends you saw this morning. Oh! No! Only that, Brittany's uniform is covered with what seems to be a mix of ketchup, mustard, and a variety of oils while Jess tries her best to wipe them off of her. Wow, she was really trying to make her titties a feast. What the fuck happened in the cafeteria? I'm glad we didn't go to the cafeteria. I was just about to check up on you. How are you feeling? Doing fine. Just mad that I didn't get much work done on my paper. You can always come to me for some help, Scum. You give Crow a smile, thankful for his will to help before turning to Brittany. The sad girl notices your gaze on her and just lets out a huff. She seems embarrassed. Well, no shit. I'm doing fine, although... You turn your gaze to the blonde behind him. Crow follows your line of sight and scratches his cheek. A drop of sweat rolls down his neck. Sensing your curiosity, he turns to Brittany. The blonde woman just waves him off, refusing to meet his eyes. Taking that as a sign to proceed, Crow explains. Things went a bit hectic in the cafeteria. A food fight broke out. What age are we? It's college! Oh, Daryl. It was the best food fight ever. You should have seen the face of that redheaded bitch when you slammed ketchup on her uniform. Daryl jumped in on the conversation, startling you and Crow to sudden appearance. An annoyed expression made its way onto Crow's face. You nearly got all of us in trouble, Daryl. I'm just glad that we got ourselves out of there before things got worse. Yeah, our knight in shining armor. Mr. Itchbot always comes to the rescue. Really making use of your title as school rep, huh? Daryl gives Crow a little nudge. The man just rolls his eyes. But you gotta admit, the look on Pinkie Pie was fucking hilarious, right, Britt? Who was Pinkie Pie? You and Daryl turned to Brittany, and some of the sauces on her uniform gone, leaving nothing but a stain on it. A small smirk formed on her lips as she recalled the earlier events. Well, I can't deny that it felt good having to fight back. Daryl gives a toothy smile at the blonde woman, which she returns her own snarky smile. Carl only rolls his eyes, shaking his head at the two troublemakers. Contrary to his visible disagreement, you couldn't help but notice a small smile on his face, as if he's proud of them despite the trouble they caused. As you observe them, you notice something amiss. Or rather, someone amiss. Jess seemed to catch on to your confusion at the lack of numbers and stepped up to explain. If you're looking for Geo, he said he was going to go somewhere else. I'm not quite too sure where, though. I see. Not that I was actively trying to look for the guy, he actually scares me. We noticed a lack of murdery stares. You recall the look he gave you right before you left for the library. Just remembering it sends a shiver down your spine. You considered tugging on Crow's sleeve, wanting to seek for answers about his other friend, but seeing how he's just going along with the group with a genuine smile on his face, you bit your lower lip. Couldn't bear to ruin the mood, the very saucy, oily mood. I should head to my next class. Not sparing them any more of your time, you swiftly turn on your heel and rush out of the scene. She's quite a runner, isn't she? Daryl perks up from beside Crow's solemn face while the other two stare at your departing form. Crow sighs and looks down at the floor. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. The taller jock says nothing but gives his friend a look of pity, rubbing Crow's back as he tries to think of anything to reassure the man next to him. Daryl's eyes suddenly lit up, a smile appearing on his lips. Taking advantage of Crow's vulnerability, he swiftly snatches his friend's phone from his pockets, the latter not even batting an eye at his phone that was taken. Oh. Instead, he questions him. The jock simply messes with his phone, his tongue sticking out from the corner of his lips. What are you doing? Trying to fix your love life. You're welcome, by the way. What are you even talking about? Crow's eyes grow wide at the block of text Daryl showed him. Give that back! Daryl simply laughs at Crow's failed attempts at getting his phone back. Daryl waves Crow's blue mobile phone in the air. You got no choice, Crow. I've already sent the message. Daryl, you sneaky bastard! You can call me your favorite wingman after this. The jock winks. A few feet away from the men, Brittany and Jess simply observed the two males. They turned to each other and shrugged, wondering what Daryl could have done to get Crow flustered like that. Oh boy. We're gonna open it up and it's gonna be like one of those chainmail things. Like, what's up, my merry Xmas hose is Dick Timber kind of thing. And it's just gonna be like, block. Barely making it to your next class, you slid the classroom door open, earning you a few looks from the students inside the room. Turning to the podium, you exhaled a breath you didn't realize you were holding when you realized that your teacher was still absent. Fixing your composure, you scanned the room. A few easels and shelves filled with brushes and bottles stained with acrylic paint guaranteed that you made it to the right class. Oh, we are an artiste! You make your way to your seat. Once settled down, you groan, placing your elbows on the desk and resting your chin on top of your hands, waiting patiently for your professor's arrival. You couldn't help but notice the feeling of someone staring at you. What is with everyone staring at us? You shook it off, thinking it must have been the lack of sleep. You look out the window. Or maybe it's cold weather. Hearing the classroom door open, your art professor makes his way inside, his large round belly sticking out, round spectacles sitting on top of his nose, and a stereotypical brown beret on his head. He greets the class before starting his lecture. Art exhibit project featuring various areas of art as part of our thesis. This time we're tasked with expressionism. Remember, this is all part of your paper, not to mention making a name for yourself, of course. Ho ho ho. We got Santa as our art teacher. We're like taking the credit of a student's work and using it to advertise your shitty school. Scam Santa. You scoffed at the thought. Everyone wonders why you're so fucking normal, right? We're the most normal person ever, and they're just like, whoa, what an outlier. Hope y'all got a partner already this time. For this term, I'm tasking you to create 3 works based on the exhibit's theme. This is where you want to throw your desk out the window. How could you forget? You weren't present during the previous meeting and you absolutely knew no one in this specific class. Why were you taking art again? Oh right, your father was an artist as he was a farmer. What? It was all for him, and maybe you can make a name for yourself with your works if ever your life as a gardener wouldn't turn out the way it should. What? All part of plan B, and if that fails, I got plans C and D. I've yet to make up the rest. Or I guess I'll die. That's what it is. It's plan Z. Shake away your silly thoughts. The problem now at hand, you do not have a partner to work with. Now I want all of you to go to your chosen partner for this project so I can start explaining your tasks. Eventually you are forced out of your seat since your seatmate's partner will be occupying it for the class. You curse at yourself. You can only hope that you're not the only student who didn't get their own partner for this class. Yeah, I'm confused on the farmer and gardener thing. Maybe it's just saying like it was his lifeblood and everything like that. Meanwhile with gardening it's supposedly a lesser form of farming? Huh. We'll figure it out. Maybe there'll be more like that. We'll deduce what they mean. You can only hope that you're not the only student who didn't get their own partner for this class. But upon looking around, it seems like everyone is calm and collected. Were you the only one panicking here? Unlike the rest of the class scurrying around to meet their partner, you were the only fool who was standing still. Note on the only one standing, because from the corner of the classroom, there's a single student not bothering to stand up from their seat. Their seatmate had left to pair with someone else, leaving a vacant spot. Oh, okay. So, I see, I see. Oh, you did the little kiss thing? I didn't get to see it! Damn. Oh no, are you priming it? Is he not going to bother with his partner? Unless... Hey there! He looks up from his desk and looks at you your approaching form before you're standing next to him. Oh yeah. Oh my god, that text is so small. It's you. Oh, wait a minute. This changed. Oh, look, he's so bad! Oh no! Oh no! There he is. Give him little head pats. He's probably crazy. It's fine. You're prepping? Alright. It's you. Seems like you're a bit lost there. Nope, that's not him. That's not us. That's him. Jesus. Do you have a partner?
Mwah.
Oh. Ran in a different universe. Right? Right? Because My introduction to this game was seeing fan art of Redacted and this guy way too close together to the point where I thought it was the same person. I was like, wow, why did they got his hair up? No. Okay. Debbie I see, I see. I think it's neat that they're the two main love interests. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like, everyone was a potential love interest. Oh, all of them make a noise. I can turn the noises off, but honestly I just finalized setting it up today to where channel points could be used, and I didn't think people would use it so quickly. I gotta test this stuff out in advance. Well, just your luck then. Me neither. So, do you want to be partners? Sure, why not? I took the vacant seat right next beside him. Ooh, right beside him. Okay. Did you throw flowers on Vic? Thank you. His book now tucked away and on his desk is now a pen and piece of paper, seemingly ready to take notes. Hairless journey? Sorry. Hey, I never got to know your name. It's not quite important. Okay, edgelord. Well, I should at least know what to call you instead of Greed Street Guy. He raised a brow at your silly nickname you gave him before slightly shaking his head. Sullivan Brugsmansia? Brugmansia? Sullivan? Sullivan? His name is Sullivan? Just call me Soul? Alright. Soul. Oh, do we want to be a dick? No, we should be nice. Soul means son or brightness, right? Soul nods, rubbing the back of his head. I think he's embarrassed. He could say that. No, we're not being a dick. My mother gave me that name. It's a lovely name. Thanks. Aww. I'm Scumberly. I'm all ragging on his name and I forgot. Nice to finally know your name, Soul. Soul nods with a smile forming on his lips, then returning his attention back to the professor. Oh, he's nice. Oh, everyone wanted number 2. I can't go back, can I? No, it doesn't let me go back. That's fine. 3 artworks to showcase. Note it has to be some form of expressionism. Mediums will be strictly traditional. Huh, okay. Ooh! Look! Look at that! That swapped so fast. We got 2 points. 1 for talking to him, and 1 for complimenting his name. We get a point every time we talk to him. No, I was kidding. The professor then proceeds to give the other pointers for your project before leaving you and the rest of the class for the day. Everyone in the classroom proceeds to talk with their partners, already brainstorming ideas on what they're going to showcase, and hopefully could get a high grade. He turned to Soul as he took out his own charcoal pencil and a sketch pad for the class. You got any plans for our first display? It's day 1! Expressionism is about conveying one's feelings, right? The easiest for now is portrait. What? Let's use your face as— what? Wait a minute. Let's use your face as an example. But my face? He lets out a low chuckle. There, you're making a cute expression right now. That can be considered as expressionism. Huh? He seems like he already has an idea on what to do. What is it? And judging from that half-filled sketchbook of his, he's quite familiar with the concept of art. Me, however. Sorry, I saw the second option and I was just imagining like, me, however, blew his sketchbook out of the fucking water and— I'm just kidding. We're gonna pretend we're good at art. Soul gives a small smile. I'd love to see some of your works then. Nope, that's not us. That is him. I keep getting confused because of the green. So, would you like to draw my portrait first? Sure. Wait, let me get my things. You took out your sketch pad and a charcoal pencil as Soul relaxed on his seat. Would you like me to pose, or do whatever you feel most comfortable in? Alright. Look at him! Okay, we got another point. Haha! Okay. Your eyes scanned his face. The more you look at him, the more you notice some of his features. His cheekbones, his lips with two piercings, his thick eyebrows, the way his hair settles down on his shoulders, his reddish-orange eyes. It's actually quite handsome. For a moment, you just stared at his eyes, and he noticed and stared back, and his pupils dilating before he realized he was staring. Aw. Heat rises to his cheeks. He quickly averted his gaze away. Aw, he's so shy. Hey! Eyes on me! Sorry, I'm not used to being stared at for that long. Relax, it's just me. Plus, you'll stare at my boring face whenever I'm done with your portrait. Your face isn't boring. I actually think you look beautiful. Damn, everyone comes onto us hard. Okay. He says without even thinking twice. His eyes meet yours, half-lidded, and his pupils were wide. Now it's your turn to get red. You hid your face behind your sketch pad and whacked him with your charcoal pencil. Stop saying stupid things and stay chill. Soul just chuckled and stilled his movements, a hand on his chest and a smile on his face. Before you knew it, the bell rang and class was over. You weren't done with your sketch, however. The conversation kept repeating in your mind, and it made it hard for you to concentrate. And like hell you're gonna show it to Soul. Come on, just a peek. It's not done yet. Boo. You chucked the sketch pad in your bag before Soul would grab a hold of it. You got up from your seat and headed out of the classroom, Soul coming in close behind with his own bag as he leaves as well with the rest of the class. Do you have a phone? We should exchange numbers and update each other so we can do the next 2 more tasks. Soul then takes out his phone and asks for your number. What? Wait. Okay. He recited it out as he inputted it into his phone. Let me try to send you a message. You nodded and looked at your phone screen and saw a new notification from an unknown number. This must be Soul's. Oh no, it's so cute! Oh! What's up? Type so differently from how you look. From the corner of your eye, you see Soul's eyebrow raise to your text. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. He chuckled. He rolled his eyes. Your stare lingers on Soul's face. A smile is embedded on his handsome features while he looks at the block of text on his phone. You bite the bottom of your lip as you recall the events that happened today. Mostly meeting new people. First formally meeting Crow's group, and now meeting Soul. Back then, you struggled to form friends throughout college. That you were convinced you would be graduating without making a single connection, which would undoubtedly disappoint your father, and you were ready for it. What is happening with our father? You thought to yourself, these are odd people, eccentrics at most. All misunderstood people, all human, all the same. A sudden wave of determination washed over you. With a hand on your chest, you stare into Soul's orbs, making him tilt his head slightly. Soul, I want to be friends with you. You are stuck with me forever. We're chaining our hands together right now. I can sense that people tend to misunderstand you and your overall personality. Okay, if someone spoke to me like that, I would never talk to them again. Soul is quiet, but his gaze remains on you with a lingering curiosity. Let me be different. I want to know you. I want to understand you, Soul. If you let me. He blinked once, then twice, then a chuckle. He puts a large hand on top of your head and then ruffles your hair. Wow, we are really friendly immediately. Alright then, let's mark today as the start of our wonderful friendship, Scumberly. Buying hand. That's the way, verse. That's the way. You playfully pushed his hand off your head and nudged him on the shoulder. He lets out a small laugh at your poor attempt. As you too, Sullivan Ruggs Mainza. Soul is fine, Scum. Well, I need to get going. See you tomorrow? Huh? Hey, of course. See you tomorrow, Scum. Giving Soul a wave goodbye, you make your way towards the school exit. Aww. Hee oh. He's obsessive right from the start. Alright. My darling. Sweet darlings. God damn. See you later, pumpkin. No. Don't call me pumpkin. Oh, are they both gonna be on Darius? Are they both gonna be fighting each other? Is this not gonna end up being like a romance meter? Is this going to indicate that he's gonna lash out and hurt this guy or vice versa? Don't blink at me. Um Oh, you guys are making faces at me. As you walk through the hallway, your eyes caught on something on the nearby bulletin board. Autumn. Miss Rebel? The Hallows Ball. Only one ball. The poster was plastered on the lodge board. Oh god, I can't read that. Oh. It's simply dummy text for the printing and taping industry. Okay. The Hallows Ball. Come enjoy the festive spirit of Hallows Eve. A Halloween party, huh? Seems promising. I feel unsafe with your responses, right? Me and Verse were huddling up. We're like, uh-oh, uh-oh. A sudden small vibration comes from your pocket. Curious, you look at your phone, expecting another message from Soul. It was from Crow. Your heart leaps from your chest, recalling the events that happened earlier this afternoon, how he displayed utmost agility at dodging every sauce in the planet. Can you meet me after class? Aw. I'll be at the front gate. Oh, like an anime. He didn't send a reply. Turning off your phone, you quickly made haste to the exit. Pumpkin to the Hallows Ball. You approach the school's gate, keeping an eye out for your friend. Goth-looking gate. Sure enough, there stood Crow in all his glory, posture straight with his arms held behind his back. His bag neatly placed on the floor and his foot tapping on the concrete floor nervously. You yourself were growing nervous with each step you took as you drew closer and closer to him. When you reached his side and made your presence known with a small greeting, you noticed the way that Crow's eyebrows raised up in mild surprise, as if not expecting you to actually show up before him. He cleared his throat before composing himself properly, his body now facing in your direction. You wanted to see me? Yeah, Lifting his bag from the floor, he swings a strap over his shoulder, damn, in public, and offers his hand for you to take. I'd like to take you somewhere. It's a bit near the park. I'll lead you if you let me. Is this important? Is this saving? Oh, eyeball everywhere. We'll take his arm. Sorry. I opened TikTok today and there was someone who had a door. Like, it's the room, the door to their room, is what I'm trying to say. Good lord. And on the back of it were all these straps arranged from the top to the bottom in rainbow colors. And she opened it up with, like, as someone who regularly straps their partner, and I was like, okay, I'm settling in, I guess. I am. I don't know how I feel about any of these characters yet. Oh, wow. Ad already. And already back. Good. You didn't take his outstretched hand, but rather boldly wrapped your arm around his, earning a look at— Oh, was that the more intimate option? He didn't question you on the matter, but a wide smile made his way to his features while a slight blush dusted his cheeks. Oh, you watch that person? That was the first time I ran into their TikToks. I was just like, alright, I am here. He held onto your arm tight and lead you both away from the school grounds. By the time you and Crow made it to the park, it was already sundown and stars slowly started painting the sky. Is this the place you were trying to lead me to? Not quite yet. Come here. You follow him through a thicket of thick bushes, surprised to see stony stairs. Though a bit run down, it still seems sturdy to step foot on. Looking up, you see it lead somewhere above. Okay, this thing is confusing me so much, but it's fine. Pushes you off a cliff. You and Crow make your way up the stony stairs, some red and orange leaves coloring the steps as you and him avoid a few puddles from the rain this morning. We're here. Come on, it's a sight to behold. Swing! Oh, that is nice. Taking one last step, you see Crow admiring whatever was beyond him. His smile bright as his eyes twinkle like the stars above. Your eyes went wide in awe, seeing the scenery before you, replicating the one Crow has on his face. Not once did you take into consideration the idea of sightseeing within the city. Everything felt unfamiliar, intimidating even. You couldn't blame yourself for feeling so distressed about the idea of traveling, especially since you had no one within the city to guide you. But gazing at the sea of lights that stretched out before you realized that you had been missing much of what the city has to offer. Looking farther ahead, you take notice of a tall tower decorated with bright neon pink lights. Alright, we got versus prediction down. A little bit to its right is a movie theater next to a mall. The rows of other buildings with multicolored lights seemed endless. The more you scan the area, the more you see unfamiliar places that you didn't know existed. Your moment of silence while admiring the city view was interrupted by the sound of rustling grass. You turn around, finding the source of the sound. Crow has made himself comfortable lying on the ground under an old tree. See his backpack leaning on its trunk. Aw. We'll give him a little pet. You turn your back from the city and walk to where Crow lays, deciding to keep him company. His gaze on the starry sky shifts to you as you sit down beside him, and a hopeful smile grows on his face. Judging from your face all lighting up, you like this place, huh? Care to join me? Accepting his invitation, you give Crow a slight nod that brought joy to his eyes. You stretch a bit and lay on your back right next to him, your fingers barely touching. You and Crow look at the night sky. You observe how the stars twinkle as if the rain from this morning never happened. How did you manage to find this place? You tilt your head to look at him and he gives you a closed-eyed chuckle before his twinkling gaze meets yours. I take it you never heard of Lily's myth. Have you, Scum? But I thought it said mirth. Lily's myth? Crow points up at the old tree that stood above you and then returns his gaze to the stars. They say that this tree that the humans came in contact with was blessed by the gods that guard this land. This very same tree here used to bear multiple fruits. They say that they never rot and are freed for anyone to take. Or so what the popular interpretation says anyway. There are other versions of the myth? Crow shrugs his shoulders. Moving his gaze from the sky back to the tree, he stares at it, as if trying to decipher something, just by the mere look of it. There are other versions, yeah. Some say the fruits are actually poisonous. Others say it's only meant for the gods and no human must take from it lest they be cursed. I'm in for a good cursing. It sounds gruesome. So I wonder they would rather use the lighter version of the myth. Crow lets out a low chuckle at your statement, nodding a bit, as if agreeing with you. I guess that might be one of the reasons. Hey, Scum. He pauses before speaking again. You perk an eyebrow at him. Yeah? Seems like a silly question. No, lay it on me. Tell me what it is. Do you believe in gods? No. Next question. This question caught you by surprise. You never thought of Crow as a religious type, more so be interested in gods, or maybe he's just curious by the idea of them. Hi, Vic. You feeling better? Do you want them? Oh my god, I brushed you for like an hour on Tuesday and you're already shedding like crazy. Sorry. Vic is perking up and moving around a bit, so he's feeling better. I was seeing if he wanted to get out of my lap. This may be the best moment to know for sure. Where's the I don't, but it's fun to think about the myths and everything option? Let's ruin the romance. You don't? No, I don't. I believe in one's hard work. Does that count? No. Crow merely chuckles at your statement, with a hand resting on his chest. He shakes his head slightly, as if he couldn't believe he just heard you say that. I don't mind the people who believe in them. I just don't like the way some of them worship the very ground these so-called gods walked on. He scoffed. It's not a way to say it. I believe that everything is made possible through everyone's efforts, be it as a team or an individual. Their believers only give credit to those deities for everything, and it's an insult to the forgotten people who sacrifice themselves to make things happen. You recalled the townsfolk who endlessly praised and worshipped your patron deity for the bountiful harvest you and your family broke sweat and tears for. No, we're legitimate farmers, I guess. You watched as the efforts of your labor were all thrown to some invisible being, which, as far as you knew, returned Vic! Who, for all you knew, returned nothing but calamities, one after the other. 'Twas only a miracle that you and your father and that damn farmland are still standing and your crops are still thriving even after so much damage. Hey, there's a pumpkin on here. Is this his sketchbook? No, we're not thinking that hard. Okay. Crow notices the way your brows furrow. He says nothing, but the look in his eyes tells you that he shares your sentiments wholeheartedly. Would he share it no matter what I picked? Is he that kind of guy? This is why we're two peas in the same pod. Well, how about you? Do you... Fuck. Okay, it keeps doing this thing where... Okay, Vic. Alright, you're going down. Vic is starting to attack the keyboard because he doesn't like what it's saying. It keeps doing this thing where I'll click it once and it'll load this, but then it'll start to load more after a beat. But in that beat, I've already read this, and so I click it again. Do you believe in gods? You turn to Crow, repeating the same question he asked you earlier. He scans your face, your eyes, your nose, then your lips. Damn, okay. His lingering gaze made you shrink back, your heart fluttering slightly. Crow seems to realize something to himself as he returns his attention to the stars above, sighing. I don't. It surprises you, and Crow laughs at your visible shock and confusion. What? Fuck. Fuck. You didn't think I'd be a non-believer? Well, if I had to be honest, no. Why so? You kind of dress like a priest. What? Crow's your eyes grow wide as he broke out into one of the loudest laughs you've ever heard from him. He laughed so hard that he had to clench his stomach and wipe the tear-stained corners of his eyes. He was still chuckling when he unbuttons the first two studs of his black polo, revealing more of his collarbone for Jesus, what's happening? You quickly avert your eyes. The sinful collarbone. Finding the tree's leaves to be very interesting at this moment as you feel a familiar heat rush to your cheeks. How's that? Oh, wait a minute. Vic's not doing good. Hi, I'm sorry. I'm back, a little out of breath. So, Vic has some issues to where he gets these yelping fits because he has a bunch of head problems, is essentially the way I can describe it. And I've been working with a neurologist for over a year, trying to figure out these head problems, and we have tried so many different pain medications, and they're not really that great, but he's on new medicine. We're seeing if that works. But it's not supposed to take away the fits completely because we still don't know what's causing them. But usually whenever there's a big drop in temperature, it's not unusual for him to have one. And he ended up launching into one, so that's why I ran away, because he was doing the beginning stages of it, and I had to run and make sure he was okay and fine, and I can't really do anything to stop them. I just kind of hold him as he goes through it, and then he chills out. So that's what happened. I had to run off and do that. He is in his kennel, recovering, and just chilling. He's got water and comfort, so he's fine. But that's what happened. Sorry. Alrighty. I think this is the first time he's had one on stream. Ooh. Alright. Let's see. What had happened? He unbuttoned his collar. And we got all blushy looking at the sinful collar that he had. How's that, less for you can't pretend to be all swanky over discussions of religion. Oh god. For fuck's sake, Ichbod. Feels like I'm seeing a Victorian woman's ankles for the first time. We have a lot of weird priorities. Oh, we made him super happy and he's super mad. Okay. Crow grins at your reaction. It took the both of you a few more seconds of going back and forth with his teasing, and you reprimanded him before you finally calmed down. The next few moments were spent with you pointing at the stars and Crow teaching you the constellations with a gentle, whisper-like voice. Brave boy Vic. Vic is very brave. He looked at me with the big ol' eyes, like, why? You both fell silent, basking in the peace of the night. As the silence prolonged, Crow fell deep in thought. About today. About those guys. So we're moving to this conversation next, huh? I gotta be honest, Daryl put me up to this little hangout while I was feeling down in the dumps. I think I do have to thank him for forcing me and actually giving me the courage to talk to you after class. I'm so confused about our friendship. He lets out a breath that he didn't know he was holding, refusing to meet your eyes. I just don't know if I'd be upset by you suddenly dragging... don't know if I upsetted you by suddenly dragging you into this group. Probably should have just told you about them a long time ago, huh? Sorry, Scum. You bit your lip. You suspected that you might have upset Crow by making him think that you didn't like the group's presence at all. Well, I didn't, but... and that he's forcing you to bend to his will. One thing to know about Crow is that he never is the type to demand, to control, to be a king, to be a tyrant. You didn't do anything wrong, Crow. In fact, I should be the one to apologize. You speak up without thinking. Crow turns his head to look at you, his gaze swirling with confusion at your apology. Sorry for making you feel bad. I didn't mean to be upset, I just... You swallow a lump in your throat, trying your best to hold back the tears that were threatening to spill. Over what? Just thought you'd forget about me after... They're amazing people. Brittany's pretty, Daryl's a fun guy, Gio's so cool. Gio's kind of a freak. Jess is loyal. They're a great group. I'm so confused by the progression of things in this game. Most importantly, you're amazing, Crow. You're all amazing, but not me. I'm just not sure I could ever be a part of that group. Did I skip anything else? No, okay. You're always hidden in the shadows, no matter how much you tried to fit in. You were never to be considered. People treated you like someone to toss away, someone to use. Like, I know it's a demo. The reason I say it's confusing is because we are kind of being dropped in. Okay. It's hard to do a lore dump at the beginning of a game, especially in a demo without it being overwhelming. But at the same time, it feels like we've jumped into the pool with these relationships already. And sometimes it feels like the perspective changes a little bit when I'm not expecting it. So that's why I'm getting a little confused with things. But it's a demo, so that doesn't mean that's how the final product's going to be. We're just getting a taste of what it can be like. They're probably gonna do a lot of editing afterwards or something. Godspeed to everyone who makes a game. I can't write anything more than like... I think the longest thing I've written was like 8,000 words, and I still edited that to hell and back. And I know if I read it again, I'm going to make little editing corrections in my head. I can't imagine doing the same thing with a video game. The lore kind of explains itself the more you replay, if that makes sense. But you gotta jump in and try new things. But it was also very confusing when I played it too. Yeah, maybe some of the confusion is due to the options that we picked on. Which is what you just explained, but what I mean is like this scene here is counting in on the fact that we went to lunch with everyone instead of how we actually went to the library, is what it sounds like, and so that's why I'm a little confused. Also gotta rely on the fan server too for lore. There's a lot of theories too. I bet. I read that the demo is about like an hour to 2 hours, and I'm curious on that. So it seems like it's going to be a lot of information, especially with all the trigger warnings given, unless we're just given one scene that covers like all of that. You were nothing but an extra. Oh, we're an NPC! That's what she always tells you. Who is she? Mother? You couldn't hold it back anymore. The sob escapes your lips, your vision slowly blurring as you feel wet droplets of tears finally sliding down your cheek from your eyes. For a moment you saw panic in Crow's expression, seemingly not expecting you to burst into tears. He reaches out to hold your hand. So what made your trauma scene in the back to normal? And suddenly you feel a pair of arms circling around you as he pulls you closer to him, letting you sob on his shoulder. He says nothing while rubbing a hand along your back, allowing you to cry, not caring about his clothes getting wet from your tears. Once you calm down, Crow rests his hand on your back, not letting you out of his embrace. The guy's like, I got one shot. He's like squeezing tight. I think it's more like 3. What is implied? Actually 4. Ooh, okay, alright, thank you. Ooh, wait. Once you calm down, Crow rests his hand on your back, not letting you out of his embrace. You're amazing, Scum. Sorry, I never got to tell you that, no matter how many times I thought it. Just couldn't seem to find the words. But you're amazing in your own way, Scum. You may not know it, but you're beautiful, you're funny, you're quite a phenomena. Phenomena. You can feel vibrations coming from his chest, from the chuckle he emits. Oh, I avoided one already? Already? I know verse. I know Crow's gonna be like the rebound guy. Heck, you're the funniest person I know. Kicks my feet. All I'm saying, Scum, is that you're amazing. Just the way you are. You have no idea how much tears you've shed tonight. Sometimes you think it's silly and childish to cry over what was probably a trivial matter to some, but the urge to sob returned after hearing those words from him. Do you want me to call you the Amazer Spider-Man just to prove you're amazing? That made you giggle a bit as you wipe your tear-stained cheeks. With whatever strength you could muster, you slowly pulled away and lifted yourself up. Ooh. Yeah, maybe. I am interested in going through and doing some of the different options in this stream. We'll see how long it takes to do the base stuff, and then we can go back and circle around. Oh no, he's handsome! You sit yourself up, hovering over Crow. Oh. And there you see the very same man that made you cry by literally doing nothing. He just existed. It's in the library. Ooh, okay. Thank you. His braid came loose. You don't know when, but his hair pulled around his head. Crow stares up at you with serene eyes, remaining silent as a gentle smile plastered on your face. Did they go up after you got a hug? No. Okay. Like a Disney princess, right? There's nothing but the moon illuminating his tender features, yet to your vision he seems to glow. He's absolutely beautiful. He is. He is. Oh, how you wish you could blame everything on him. We could. I mean, it could be toxic, but we could do that. If you could, you tell him that it's the reason for all the unnecessary feelings swelling in your chest. You tell him exactly how good and bad it all feels, the heartaches and the butterflies fluttering around your stomach. You want to blame him, but you can't. You shan't. There, pal. Shit. You didn't feel as bad as before, but your vessel is not completely empty yet. I should have saved before I did that. Somehow, just looking at Crow, the comfort he brought you made you want to bask in it longer until you were sure you had no tears left to shed. Leaning down once more, you bury your face on the crook of his neck, and his arms instinctively wrap around you, his hug warm and soothing as he waits for you to gather your thoughts. Crow rubbed circles on your back, a silent way of telling you that he was there, you were not alone, and that he'd be there whenever you needed him. He didn't say a word, understanding that you need silence more than anything right now. You couldn't think of enough for always knowing what you needed. You have no idea exactly how long you remained in that embrace while lying down on the grass, but you feel a lot better now that you're ready to get back up on your feet. You pulled away, meeting Crow's eyes that seemed to ask after your well-being. Fixing his collar, he turns to you. Are you good to go? You can just read that from his gaze. You nod slightly, and it's only then that Crow completely releases you from his embrace, helping you sit up before he dusts off the grass that's stuck to his shirt. Oh, the icon for this game is an eye too, like on my taskbar. I like that. I like eyes. He gives you a once-over and gently swats away the leaves out on your hair and clothes. No, we're going for the Forest Fae look. Don't you dare do that. You blink at him. He only smiles at you. You get up and Crow retrieves his bag, almost forgotten by the tree. He looks back at you and takes your hand silently. It's time to go. It was time to leave this magical place. You look at the stars and how brightly they shone. You give the sky one last glance before turning away, hand clasped tightly around Crow's as you lead him to your home. I almost said around Crow's neck. That was a really fucked up reading. Crow walks you to your apartment, noting that he kept you out late at night. You bid Crow goodbye after he safely sees you inside, and he gives you a wave before turning on his heel and making his way down the stairs. You hear him trip and stumble, but you keep going through the door. You close your apartment door and lean on it, even a pair. Sorry, the mental image of like a really magical night, and he walks away and he's so happy, and he trips and stumbles, but you just keep fucking walking, and he's just like, it's fine, that doesn't hurt, it's fine. Bias is trying to protect you from the princely charm. Right? What? You want to go like the quote-unquote Disney princess vibe or the Disney villain vibe? You recall the conversation you had with Crow while you walked with him on the street leading to your home. Gotta give the guy a chance. The guy is a chance. The lunch guy is okay. I think I judged him too quickly, so I want to do better. I want to get to know them better. If you trust them, then I trust them too. Crow's expression was of surprise at your declaration as your determined face reflected in his orbs. Crow chuckles at your enthusiasm, giving you a friendly pat on the head. I'm glad you're giving them a chance, Scum. Sure they'll feel the same. You engaged in other conversations with Crow during your walk, the topics not really being of any importance as you have forgotten them by now. Oh, we're so great. We're a great friend. Save for his gentle voice and the occasional fond glances he stole at you. Ooh, green. Time spent with Crow seemed to pass by so quickly. You arrived at your apartment complex before you knew it. You make your way to the living room and you throw your school bag to a random corner, immediately plopping down on your sofa as you turn to the small television. He's so gonna be like swinging his feet. Cute. Nothing interesting is going on save for some food commercials and movie trailers. that pizza looks good. Maybe I should order something. Reaching to your pockets and taking out your phone, you're about to dial the numbers on your television when a new notification bubble popped up on your notification bar. It's from a group chat you'd never seen before. After scrutinizing it, you realize it was Crow who added you into it. I would have blocked it immediately. I don't know if I would have scrutinized it. I'm realizing this is why I'm not good at talking to people. There's a group chat with the rest of his friends. You open it. The ball! Hello be thy ball. Deep end of group chat. I know! Fucking... Does he really like us? Are we sure about that? No combo before or nothing. He's just like, get dunked, bitch. In like a friendly way, but still. Anyone wanna go to the Halloween party this Friday? It's gonna be awesome! Are we all a bit too old for costume parties? No, fuck you, Brittany. You dress like that, and you don't want to do a costume party? You would kill a whatever, Brittany. Whatever. Was it required? You two are no fun at all. I won't go to school if it's not a requirement. Oh, I won't go if it's not a school requirement. Much less a waste of my time. Alright, Gio. Is it? No, it isn't. But it'd be great and a fun experience for all of us. I mean, we should loosen up a bit, you know? I agree with Crow. Count me in. Pass. Alright, Gio. I got more important things to do than that party. If excuse me, I'll be doing my leftover tasks for tonight. Okay. Gio's the type of bitch to have like the fully aesthetic, very minimalistic room, and he has all of his things timed by this, like, he has a schedule, everything timed in complete order, and he's like, no, nothing else, nothing extra, get out of my life. And you're like, okay. Sheesh, just stick in the butt as usual. But you, Scum. Eee. Join in, it'll be fun. RJ, there's a difference between doing that because it works really well for your scheduling benefits and being a dick about it. What? What? Did I say it funny? What? I didn't say it funny. I said what I said. Sorry, I'm drinking a bit of my cold hot chalky. Looking at you before posting. Alright, cool. You're honestly surprised that they somehow remembered you. Checking your calendar through your phone, you didn't seem to have any plans in the near future, or plans at all. You'd like to just spend your time in your apartment alone. I mean, sure. No, not even an option. It's great to hear. Okay. Crow seems happy about it. You giggled. This also reminds you of something. Or rather, someone. Opening another chat, you tapped on Soul's newly added contact and sent him a message by sending the same image of the poster Daryl sent. Oh, thank you for joining, Bossy. I hope the stream is fun. Yeah. Just from that. We do talk essentially every single day. Halloween party? Hosted by the school. Yeah. I'm not quite into parties. Oh. Oh, well that's alright. Just asking, that's all. Wait. If you're coming, then I'm coming as well. Really? Really? Do you plan on dressing up? I don't know. Do you? I mean, it's a costume party, so why not? I'm trying to think of something then. I swear you can feel the smile behind those words. With a quick word of goodbye, you set your phone down when you hear your doorbell. That must be the food delivery. Ooh, bed. Afterwards, you ate your dinner and prepared yourself for bed. You thought about the events that happened that day. Meeting the group, meeting Soul, and most especially your little hangout with Crow. Each and every moment is a special occasion on its own. Letting out a big yawn as you stretched your body. You turn to your laundry, slowly piling up and scratch your head. We turn back around. We're ignoring the laundry. We don't acknowledge the laundry pile, or else it tries to eat us. We'll probably do laundry tomorrow. But for now, You plopped yourself onto the soft cushions of your bed, getting into a comfortable position and slowly dozing off as you close your eyes, embracing sleep as the night goes. And thus maiden, she lived with no other thought, head empty, than to be loved and be loved by me, the one who loves. I was a child, she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. The kingdom! Day 2. The sun setting by the horizon colors the grassy field into a deep golden orange as the wind made some strands of hair brush across your face. Your ever-beloved home, the tall grass, the flesh, the fresh air. The various farm animals that you and your family raised since you were but a mere child. You can't even imagine what was happening before you right now as a group of people came while they talked with your father. Your only family member left. You see the distress in your father's eyes as he tries his best to negotiate with the people before him. The desperation in his voice, the sweat running down his back as he moves around his hand, gesturing this and that. Please just give me more time. I promise I can pay up. This is all we have left. I don't know where else to go if we lose this farmland. Oh, around 8 for movie night. That's fair, verse. We've given you enough chances, Mr. Pearly. Oh, I'm full of regret. Why? Why didn't you send us my name? If you don't pay up your debt, we'll take your land. Loud ringing of the school bell rang across the hallway, making you jerk out of your thoughts. Students came through their classroom doors. You feel someone shaking you awake. We sat up and met face to face with Crow. Well, good morning, Sleeping Beauty. Oh, that's my eye. You let out a yawn. You rubbed your eyes as you looked around. Your fellow classmates are now gone from their seats as it is now lunchtime. It'd be funny if he was ironically scrawny. But realistically, he's a farmer, so he probably has a lot of muscles. I'd be scared of arguing with a farmer, to be honest. What? What did I miss? Nothing important, though. If you're having doubts, I can lend you my notes afterwards. You take notes? Thanks, Crow. You're a lifesaver. What's the little meter? Oh, he is living the life. Maybe not for long. Anything for you, Scum. You recalled the little dream you had. You quickly shake it off as you let out a stretch, popping a few joints before you got up and went out of your classroom with Crow in tow. You met up with your group of friends, seeing Daryl and Geo and Crow waiting by the lockers, Brittany coming along behind them and Jess. You waved at them. Oh, the pop music. Good noon to you all. Daryl. Regards, Daryl. How was class? Boring and boring, so glad to be out of there. One more useless minor and I'll be out of here. Geo just shrugged, a hand in his hoodie pocket while the other is on his phone. Alright. We get to at least do something in our major today, though, which I'm glad about. More papers, but it was at least something. Enough about papers, so about the Halloween party. Any ideas for a costume yet? As they talked with each other, out of the corner of your eye, you notice a familiar figure. Ah! Who's this? Oh! Oh! Okay. It was Soul. He came out of the classroom and another person came afterwards behind him, seemingly bored out of his mind. Oh, do we want to join him completely, or let's call him over. Let's fare in the group a moment. You make your way to where Soul is. Soul almost instantly notices you by the visible smile making its way to his face. His companion notices his change in attitude and turns his attention to where you are. Hi there, you friends with Sunny? Sunny? Sunny! Oh, he's so mad. He pats Soul at the back, causing the taller male to jerk slightly forward. Soul gives him an irritated look, observing the way his face is slowly turning red. Because you would have left to Soul. I know, but we're let's be like a little dice. You know, because he's such a sunshine. He's sunny. You let out a small giggle, shifting your eyes towards Soul as he catches your gaze on his. Upon landing eye contact, Sol quickly averts his gaze from yours, holding up his hand as he tries his hardest to hide his face away. He's so red. Like a nickname? Yeah, Sunny loves the nickname I gave him, right, Sunny? Sol remained silent, so refusing to meet your gaze.
Mwah.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly why I put the kiss thing there. Not for me, for the hot boys that we see on the screen. That's adorable. For a moment, the three of you were silent before the shorter male speaks up once more. Sure have taste, Sunny. She's very pretty, like you said. Oh, you're talking about me. Bats my eyelash. The blush makes its way up to your face, scratching the back of your head. You bit your bottom lip as you let out a small thank you. Anyway, nice to meet you. My name's Hugo. I'm this big old grumpy's best friend. I like Hugo. Scum, pleasure to meet you too. He extends his hand for you to take, in which you merely accept, shaking it, and puts it back on his side, a smile on his face as he did so. Didn't you hear a group of footsteps behind you? I think we did ditch the group. Hugo first noticed the group behind you as he raised his hand to meet one of their gazes. There, Scum, you ran off like that. I got worried. We did totally just... I thought I picked the option where we stayed with the group or we're trying to invite Sol over. There, Scum, you just ran off like that. I got worried. You with those people, Scum? Oh, that's right. Ah, sorry for running like that. Yeah. Sol, Hugo, these are my friends. You turned your body to face Crow and the others while your gaze is still fixated on the duo. Crow gives the two a smile and a small wave. Daryl came up first, extending his hand for one of the two to take. Nice to meet you. I'm Daryl. If you haven't heard yet, I am the ace of our school's football club. I would not get along with Daryl. He said with a smile. Hugo took his hand with a shake. Following up is Brittany as she just stares with a hand on her hip while Jess is twiddling her fingers as she sat close to Brittany's side. Hey, how's it going? Hello. Between Brittany, Jess, and Daryl, it seems that the only tall jock is the most enthusiastic of them all in this newfound friendship. I'm Hugo. I've heard about you, Daryl. Nice to meet you too. Thankfully, Hugo returns some of the same energy as the jock. I'm Jericho, but people call me Crow. It's nice to make your acquaintance. I can't remember either. Oh, Seth. Seth. That's who he reminds me of now that I realize it. Crow was also handed out his hand for Sol to shake. However, Sol did not take it. Sol hates Crow. Crow is going to be murdered tonight. There was a slight awkwardness in the air between the two males, making Crow slowly retrace his hand back. No way! The atmosphere between the two, however, was cut short when Hugo gave out a loud gasp and marched towards Gio, who was way behind the group, a visible scowl on his face. Kid from the Alibaba anime for you? I don't know what that one is. Gio's eyes darkened as he tried to step back, but Hugo was quick on his feet as he engulfed the taller male into a hug. Uh-oh. Oh. I don't know what he's saying. Oh. I haven't done any of my Japanese lessons in such a long time. Is this still Japanese? I think it is. Long time no see. Oh, okay. He's so upset. Cause, I don't know. Eh? I want to see your ugly face the entire day. What a pain. Oh, okay. Agi. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, we got a lot of things happening. Alright. Thank you, Trashy. No. The entire semester. My leg seems to be slipping. Hey now, it's not a nice way to greet your brother. Another loud gasp was heard. This time it came from Daryl. Okay, maybe I would get along a little bit with Daryl. He points at Gio quite a bit dramatically. You have a brother, Gio? Oh, great, another one. That's big brother to you, and he's short. Everyone's attention was now on the three of them. Brittany seemingly amused by Gio's newfound dilemma. Crow just chuckled while Jess was surprised as well. Oh right. Hugo started, finally letting go of Gio, the said male cursing under his breath as he composed himself and fixed his now ruffled hair as he walked towards you. We're actually going to go to the rooftop for lunch today. We were hoping that you'd like to come with us? He says, now standing beside Soul. Soul looks at you with anticipation. I'm sorry, Crow. These two are more my vibe, and I like Daryl, but I don't think I like the rest of the— oh, okay, Crow's fine. Forgot Crow was part of that group for a second. I mean, sure. Oh, but I need to tell the others first if that's okay? Sure thing, take your time. Thinking and excusing himself from the duo, you turn to the group, specifically to Crow. Nervousness suddenly engulfed you as you tapped the blue-eyed male on the shoulder. Oh, thank you first. Crow tilted his head and turned his full attention to you. Is that right for me to come with them today? Oh, we're gonna come with them too? I'm fine with it, Scum. Oh. He paused as if suddenly remembering something. But you have to ask Brittany for that as well. Bitch, why do we— Sorry, not calling Brittany a bitch. Calling Crow a bitch. Why do we have to ask permission to do this? We don't know anyone. I mean, we vaguely know them, but— what? Okay. Upon hearing her name, Brittany turned her head towards you. You noticed a basket around one of her arms. Brittany, however, didn't give you the chance to ask. You can go ahead, Scum. You can join us whenever you want to. She gives you a smile, surprising you a bit. Without further ado, you excuse yourself from the group before going with Soul and Hugo. Hugo gives you a smile. You turn to Soul. He gives you a smile of his own. His shoulders relax as if relieved. Let's go then. This rooftop looks really familiar. And I'm trying to remember where I saw it before. I don't know. Hugo walks to his usual spot and got himself seated on a bench that you somehow never took notice before. Took notice of before, I guess? Soul follows along, and in its hands is a large wrapped box that caught your interest. We'll sit beside Soul. Soul notices you from the corner of his eye, the edges of his lips moving upward. Forward. You pointed to the box nestled in Soul's hands. Is that your lunch, Soul? You can say that. The Soul unwraps the cloth, showing you 3 bento boxes. He takes out the first bento box that was settled on top before giving the second one to Hugo. Hugo happily accepts the box, thanking Soul before taking out his chopsticks. Opening the container, Hugo lets out an awe sound, his eyes sparkling, jewels slowly seeping out of the corner of his open mouth. Damn, boy. Calm down. You actually listened, and— did you get these tiny sausages and the octopuses? Keep your voice down, it's ringing in my ear. Wait, I need to take a picture of it. Hugo's cute. Placing the box gently on his lap, Hugo rummages through his pockets before taking out his phone. Opening his phone's camera, he flips it horizontally and starts clicking away, taking 1 or 2 photos. Hugo lifts the container back in his hands, but not before turning to you and showing you what he keeps gushing about. Oh my! Oh! Oh no, look at it! What is it? It's so happy. It looks like some kind of bug. It's got little legs. Mushroom, broccoli, mystery cube, egg rice. Yeah, they're my favorites right now. They're really cute. There you see various ranges of food with rice shaped to match a moth. Seaweed designed along the face along with using a cabbage leaf to form its wings. It's a really fat moth. It's so cute. Right below the moth are many sausages shaped like the octopus. Wonderfully cut carrots that were made to look like stars and squeezed beside stuffed shiitake mushrooms, egg roll, sushi, and broccoli with melted cheese as dip look delicious. Damn. I almost feel too bad to eat it, especially on how cute this little guy is. Hugo points at the silk, moth-shaped rice. Whoa. Oh, in theory I should know what each of those say, but guess who hasn't done Japanese lessons in like 6 months? want to say that's... No, that's not Ko, I don't think. I know that's Ta. Maybe Ta? Sa. Ma? Ru? I don't know. Ita. Oh, E. Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm not on all four cylinders today. Sorry. Without wasting another second, Hugo starts digging in, scuffing down on the rice like a wild, hungry animal. That's how it's spelled. Okay. Did you make this by yourself, Soul? You can say that. Soul answers, opening his own container. What is it? You thought you see another form of food art made by Soul himself within the container, but instead you was greeted by a simple ham and cheese sandwich. Oh, you guys are getting ads. Okay, well, wait a second. Ham and cheese. Ham and bees. All of his effort. Only Hugo. Only Hugo gets the nice things. I think that's cute though. Though I think it also shows a really lack of care towards himself. Oh, a quick ad break. Hell yeah. Cheese sandwich. He takes out a slice, but before you can take a bite, he turns to you. Have you eaten? We're not gonna steal his food since he gave Hugo everything he owns, apparently. Hugo stops gobbling down on the bento box, still giving him a disgusted look at the amount of stray rice sticking on his friend's face. With the use of his chopsticks, Hugo points at you. You should try it. Here, you can have some of mine. I have another one made. Thank you. Soul stops Hugo mid-sentence, the octopus-shaped sausage that was meant for you held in the air between his chopsticks. Hugo shrugs, shoving the sausage in his mouth, continuing his endeavor on the bento box. Soul sits down his sandwich and then takes the third bento box out. I don't like how this turned out, but it was wasted ingredients. I figured I could give it to Hugo and let him finish it, seeing how much he's wolfing down the first one. Opening the last box, you see another form of bento box art, nearly replicating to what Hugo has. Hee hee! I love it so much. What is he on about? What mistakes? It looks exactly the same? You look up at him wondering if he's actually serious that there were mistakes because it looks identical? But where exactly is this mistake? I don't know what he kinda looks. I see. But if you want one, just tell me. I'm more than willing to make one to your liking. Seems like a good deal. I'll think about it. He made this? Yeah. Something the matter? If it's not to your liking, I can give you my sandwiches. Why are you just eating sandwiches? If you can make one for— Whoa, wait, what? Oh, what? What? Where did the thing that he said go? No, there's nothing wrong with it. Soul stopped rambling. We don't get to see his ramblings? You gently took the bento box from him, your hands brushing against his in the process, making him blush. I just never thought you'd be the type to make this type of food art. I think it's quite unique and amazing. Thanks. Well, better eat that before I swipe it off your hands. Not on my watch. Hugo laughs, you let a chuckle. Rolling his eyes, Soul takes out a sandwich once more, then taking a bite out of it. Okay. Accepting the bento box, you settle it on your lap as you thank Soul for the food. You take a bite and chewed. Mixture of flavors, how the rice remains warm and fluffy, and the sausage savory taste helps balance it out, sends a tingling feeling down your spine from your mouth. It's amazing! Delicious! Soul, this is really good! Compliment him more. Get us more points! Hugo nods along with you with gusto, food stuffed on one cheek like a hamster. I know, right? You're honestly surprised! Soul? Oh, let's KO him. You'd make a great house husband. Soul's eyes widen at your declaration. You really think so? I really do think so. What did he say? No! I think he's think he asked if we wanted to get married. What the fuck did he say? Why does it keep bleeping out what he says? So it's definitely how husband materials come. He can cook, he can clean, he can do anything. It's like that Nicki Minaj. No, never mind. Rather not be your own personal butler. That was a compliment! The two banter and you can't help but looking at Soul and the way his eyes sparkle. They almost remind you of bright fireworks through the new year. Soul then went quiet, his gaze lost in thought. It's caught your attention, tilting your head to the side as you called out his name. Soul? You okay there? Huh? Oh. I'm fine, Scum. Perfectly fine. But there was hesitation in his voice. I started a hate train out. I don't listen to enough to either of them, so we're good. Like him. What? He said something, Soul? He clears his throat, his back straightened and his eyes close. A person. The one with the braids. Person? Does he mean Crow? You mean Crow? For a split second, his gaze darkens. Yeah. Oh, he does not like Crow. Can I ask you something? This confused you for a bit. What made him interested all of a sudden? And towards Crow, nonetheless. Maybe you would like to know more about him? Crow's known to be very friendly. Sure, what is it that you'd like to ask me? Do you like him? He's my friend. Your heart drops and you nearly choked on your own spit. See, I can't be a visual novel protagonist because I would just be like, he's my friend, exactly like I said it there. And they'd be like, no, do you, like, love him? And I'd be like, he's my friend. I would miss all the cues. I would miss all the signals. I would be the most oblivious fucking thing ever. Your heart drops and you nearly choked on your own spit. No, not this run. What makes you say that? You nervously laugh. Nothing of the sort. I shan't. Oh, he's happy, and Crow's sad. It'd be fun. We'll work with a few allies though. Oh no. They like the oblivious types. That don't realize until like year 3 that they're married or something. Soul's leading! Soul's in the lead! Hesitance lingered within his orange orbs, unsure whether or not to believe you. Wanting to change the subject before he gets any more suspicious, you blurt out the same question he threw at you. How about you, Soul? Surely there's someone you like. Do you like Crow? Is this like a weird man-hating relationship? Don't look at me like that. He smirks. The very same grin he makes when he teases. When he teases makes its way up to his ever-handsome face. Why? You interested? As if... A wild blush erupts from your face as you try to diffuse this topic. Soul chuckles from the way you stammer and fidget, his gaze softening. So cute. Hugo eventually finished up his own box, tucking it away and wrapping it back up. Standing up from the bench, Hugo stretched out his limbs and paced a few steps forward before turning to look at you and Soul with his hands on his hips. Is this what you guys do every day? Or at least when you both get together? You raised the question. Hugo turns his head to you with a slight tilt. What do you mean? You mean Soul giving me lunch? He just keeps forgetting to bring his own. Hugo pouts. And you never finish yours, so I do the honor of finishing good food, thank you very much. That's exactly how Hugo is. This bento box art. What inspired them, if you don't mind me asking? Anime. Oh, you don't know? Shut up, Go-Go. Do you call him Go-Go? Go-Go? Now we're using nicknames now, Sunny? How sweet of you! You see here, Scum, my old pal just likes to make food art, like the typical artist that he is. But he never bothers to finish it, much less eat it. But he really loves cute things, like... With a finger under his chin, Hugo ponders for a short moment, trying to remember something from the top of his head, but to no avail. Oh, Hugo's airheaded. He turns to his friend, his arms crossed, seemingly uninterested in answering whatever inquiry Hugo's going to throw at him. What's the name of your plush horse, Sunny? Like hell I am answering that. Boo. He owns a plush horse? Soul owns plushies? Soul bites his lips, his face turning red upon the reveal of his little secret. It's so cute, you're just full of surprises, Soul. He says nothing as he fixes his choker. The red blush tinting his face makes its way to the tips of his ears, but appreciates your compliment nonetheless. Looks can be deceiving. This makes me wonder, why do people never bother to notice him? Why don't people want to get to know him? I don't know, because he seems to glare at people every time they try to talk to him. That's just a wild suggestion. Maybe they just never gave him the chance because of how he looks. Not to mention his intimidating height. The height could play a big factor, don't mind. But he isn't like that at all. In fact, he can be considered as a gentle giant. Please get this man a plushie. Alright, show me to the Crane Games. We'll reverse lads this bitch. Time passed for a while, and now Hugo and Sol are both leaning against the railings, observing the view below them. Curious, you make your way to where they were. Hugo and Sol seem to be looking at something below. Their faces solemn and serious. Hugo's face is blank, while Sol's expression is a mixture of irritation and aggravation. You look down, and there you see a group of well-dressed people, but what makes them stand out is not from the way they dress, but from the way they carry themselves. They're clearly not from here. They're the rival gang school, here to ruin our fucking day. But the school's logo on their uniform chest pocket says otherwise. They look so fancy. There's a possible option. Oh! We're doing it. We're doing it. They look rich, dangerous. Well, we're from the perfect height to throw food at them, so we're gonna throw food at them. You couldn't help but hold your gaze on the tallest one in the group, an adult man. You're guessing that he must be a staff member, maybe a teacher, but what sticks out about him is the eye patch on Gilbert? No, and the large scar behind it. Sends a shiver down your spine. Gilbert would be short, he wouldn't be tall, and he'd be the one prancing around. Made some of flashbacks. Oh, we both thought Gilbert. High-class mugs. Sol exclaims, pure disgust goading his tone, not hiding it a single bit as he pulls away from the railings and returns to the benches where you last were. High class. You don't know about the hierarchy, Scum? No, not that I'm aware of. It's the first time I've ever heard of it. How come I've never heard or seen one of them throughout my school years here because you're oblivious? Hugo lets out a low chuckle, his attention still on the group below him. Then his gaze darkened, his usual happy-go-lucky attitude that you've come to know disappeared in a flash, as if the person before you was a whole different person. I don't blame you. No one likes talking about them anyway. Oh, look! His hair's moving! These are essentially the same question, aren't they? Oh, my watch thinks I'm stressed. Alright. He sends a chilling glare down at the group below. School's building isn't actually the real thing. Wait, what? The school map clearly says that the address is... It's where they actually fool you. You might think you got it right, but we are sort of based on our background. The real school building? Way further than where we are, and their campus is 10 times bigger and better. What? Sorry. What? They get proper classes, have better equipment, everything is just better. Here? We only get the short end of the stick. The afterthought of it, if you will. I wonder if Crow is secretly part of the high-class people, and that's another reason why Sol doesn't like him. I never watched Ass Class. I had to guess. The well-offer in the main building? That's right. Son of a duke. Daughter of a businessman. Heck, as long as you're rich, you're in. And chances for having a better education rests there. If you're part of the high class, then you get a better chance of having a successful and stable life. You're killing me. Sorry. I think I kill everyone whenever I know like a little bit about a bunch of anime and everyone's like, oh yeah, you watch anime? I'm like, no, not anymore. And they're like, what? I'm like, no. But don't we have students who are like super rich? You called Crow introducing you to Jess, her being the daughter of a family owning a large company. But how come she's not part of the high class? There are some who ended up shifted down and moved into our building. Carmen's great. He's voiced by Nobuhiko Okamoto? I don't know who that is. Either they failed the class or got a violation. They didn't want that type of stain on their reputation, so they sent them him. Lance! Of course, some didn't appreciate that. They see us as someone lower than them, hence. Hugo glances back at Sol, the male now busying himself with his sketch pad. A soft look flashed in his eyes, like how a mother would worry over their child. There you understood something. They are gay. Oh. They have to fight the weak to feel something. Huh. They sound like nothing but bullies. How come someone didn't step up to complain? Hugo laughs at your words as if you told them the best joke of his life. He shakes his head in disagreement. If only it was that easy. His laughter dies down, his expression back to being solemn as he scratches the back of his head. Actually, Scum, in this city, no one really gives a shit. Money is the only thing revolving around this city. You got no cash? You're done for. Which is why people like us. Wait. Which is why people like... Oh. He turns to look you dead in the eyes. Are desperate to get into the higher class. That was structured very weirdly. Bye, verse. If you so dare complain. He pauses, contemplating the next set of words he's going to say, his mouth opening and closing like a guppy out of water. Instead, he gives you a warning look. His sky blue eyes that once reminded you of the summer skies are now cold like sharp icicles about to pierce you. You're better off dead. With the last look below, Hugo lets out a sigh as he turns to look somewhere else, trying to shove away the thoughts clouding his mind. But it's the sad reality here. The attention is good, grade even. Your chances to get a stable life and even have a knock to stardom is high once you're part of the high class, much less graduate there. Oh, okay. I've never heard of the hierarchy before. It's like a hidden thing. That's what we call it. The school, no. The entire city. It's like a fighting pit. Whoever's most powerful has a better chance of living the good life here. People come to the school to gain a second chance in life. To achieve that, you have to make yourself well known. Make them think you're worth your time. Their time. If not, you're on your own. The city is so corrupted. Well, I got bad news about the rest of it. He mutters under his breath, which makes me question Scum. How were you able to get into the city? The better question is, why did you enroll in the school, if you don't mind me asking, that is? You're clearly not from here. What do we look like? Her eyes widen at the words that the well-dressed man said. No, I refuse. Scum, I thought I told you to say inside. You are not taking this far. My home. Mine! You cut your father's words off, marching towards the tall man with loud and heavy footsteps. Sorry, excuse me. The tall man, however, raised a brow at you, raising his hand to halt his men. His deep magenta eyes then turned to look straight into your eyes. Oh, that's gonna come up later. It sent a chill down your spine. Sorry, I wasn't expecting a humanized him. Sorry. Sorry. I had like this big intimidating man in my mind. And so the flash of this, it's not bad. It was just so polar opposite of what I was thinking. It took me off guard. Oh, whoa, a bit feisty seeing this is our first time meeting, right? Let me introduce myself first. My name is You can call me Mr. Z. Ah. It's evil Silvio. It's Silvio if he stepped out of the closet a little. And as for our little agenda, how about this, little lamb? If you manage to pay off your debt for the next 5 years, I'll let you off the hook and you can keep your land. 5 years? You can handle that. Maybe working 3 jobs would do it for you. He tuts, waving a finger in front of your face. Silvio's against me. He looks down at you, reminding you of your place, a mischievous smile appearing on his handsome features. But I have some conditions you need to meet. You went silent. Your heart starts pounding in your chest as you kept eye contact with the sharp magenta orbs. I want you to stay in the city. The city? I can't even afford to take her to college. What more moving in the city? He's gay. He's more gay than he is. RJ, you speak your truth. Your father interrupts the man mid-sentence. The man merely gives your father a side glance before making the old man freeze on his feet, before returning his gaze to you. No need to worry. She'll be under my jurisdiction, of course. I'll provide for her education and accommodation. I'm so confused. Suddenly he bursts out in laughter, throwing his head back a bit as if he heard a very funny joke. See? I'm not that cruel. Wouldn't you agree? But like I just said before, I want you to pay off your debt. Land doesn't come in cheap, darling. I've been very patient with how long this land's payment's been postponed. A sudden jerk on your collar made your heart jump. His face now mere inches away from yours, his brows furrowed and angered and filled with spite. Oops. Not one step, old man. He screams at your father, not sparing him a glance as he kept his hold on your collar. You try to claw his hands away from it, but to no avail, seeing that you're losing more air than the more that you struggle. Listen here, punk. I don't care what kind of method you're going to do in order to make money. A dark smile appeared on his face. It sends a shiver down your spine. Being a good citizen and get a part-time job like the rest of us, or whore yourself out on strip clubs. Legal or illegal. I don't fucking care, as long as you reach the amount. If not, well, you can say goodbye to your little farmland. He says that, but there's a gleam in his eye that's telling you that it's not all. Letting go of your collar, he steps back as you greedily take in the air that you lost, tears making its way towards your eyes, threatening to drop. So, little fun. What's it gonna be? You bit the bottom of your lip. You turned to look at your father. His eyes were clearly telling you to decline. You didn't want to comply to this man's words, much less take his offer. You think that he might throw you another form of debt for letting him fund you to go to the city. There's something about this man that screams dangerous. But you're too desperate not to lose your home. Your only home. Tick-tock, sweet thing, I haven't got all day. The tall man's gaze still fixated on you, waiting for your answer. Do you accept? You recall the dream that you had this morning. It felt as if it happened yesterday, despite the events that happened nearly 4 years ago, and you're still being haunted by the deal the tall man offered you. Hugo observes the way that your face hardened, the way that your eyebrows arched and a drop of sweat dropping amidst the cool autumn wind. There he understood. Let me guess, that's something you can avoid? I honestly don't know. My father never really disclosed as to why we were in debt, but I was so desperate not to lose my only home. I need to make it up to the higher class no matter what. 3 jobs isn't cutting off the way I want it to be. Running out of time. This is my last year in this cursed university and I'm barely making any progress. Hugo's gaze remains on your figure. You realize that you haven't answered his question yet. My family owns a farm in the south. You finally speak, making Hugo perk up his eyebrows in curiosity. What sort of farm does your family have? Oh, well, we have some wheat fields. We tend to animals such as cows and horses. Horses! Bitsol's gonna love that place. That sounds nice. I'd love to be out of the city once in a while. You give him a small smile. Yeah, some say it's boring, but it's not. You get to pet horses and cows. Well, you should really invite me, or even Sol, over than if ever. I feel like the rich person is going to bulldoze the fucking place, and you're just going to get, like, the price of the land and not anything on it. That would suck. Maybe you give us a tour where there would be a great change of scenery. But that means you're a long way from home. Don't you miss it? I hate the city. A little bit. It's alright, it's normal to feel a little homesick. There are great things about the city, about the school. Hugo remained quiet, listening to you as you went on. If I can manage to come up on top and maybe be part of the higher class like you said, then maybe I can save my family's farm. Crossing his arms, he says nothing as he looks at you one last time before letting out an endearing chuckle. You remind me of her. Like her? Ah. I'm rambling. Don't make me! Ha ha ha! Have you caught red-handed? He waves his hands around in a slight panic. His face is now red as a cherry, and you tilt your head in confusion. Oh. Is this where we find out that Sol doesn't like us? He just likes someone who looked a lot like us, and now she's gone? And now he's projecting? Just then, you felt a presence behind you. Turning around, you're met with Sol. His glare is stinky and directed at Hugo. I think I'm right. The shorter male, however, didn't mind it. Probably used to it. It's almost fine. Nope, that's not Hugo. It's almost time we should head back. Alright, alright. With nothing else to do, the three of you left the rooftop. You take one step down, looking up and ready to converse with Sol and Hugo when you suddenly lose your footing. Oh no! The joke I made earlier. Scum! Whoa, you alright there, Scum? Yeah, thank you, Sol. His eyes wide in shock, you hold on to Sol's arm tight, his other arm wrapped around your waist as he pulls you close to his chest. You can feel that both of your heartbeats run. Pulling away, you steady your footing, observing the stairs, cursing at how weirdly formed it is. Be careful next time. Sheesh, the school and its bad architecture. Also one of the few flaws here. The stairs are all wonky. That's also why it's forbidden to go up there. We're troublemakers, though! The cutest troublemakers that ever did live. Hugo lets out a cocky grin and then goes down the stairs with much ease as if it's nothing to him. What a fucking menace. What is the turn in personality? Turning to Sol, you grab a hold of his shoulder. He did not mind as you used him as a guide in descending down the stairs. School bell rang throughout the hallway, signaling the start of next classes. Hugo lets out a groan. I don't want to go to class. I hate my history teacher as much as my coach in archery. So why don't you skip them? Hugo's eyes popped open. It became bright like the light bulb appearing out of his head and lighting up. Sol knows exactly what that look means. Don't tell me I'm gonna skip class! How about it? Fuck this school! If they're gonna treat us badly, then let's be the bad guys! A mischievous look makes its way up to Hugo's face. Sol already knew what that look means. Sighing as he did so, he turns to look at you, waiting for your response to Hugo's offer. Cloud skipping is quite a gamble. Your next class is with Crow and Heart History. But then again, your teacher will probably only do some boring-ass introduction. Missing one wouldn't hurt, would it? Fuck the school. Fuck it, we skip. Hugo lets out a small cheer and gives you a thumbs up. Sol gives you a cheeky smile of his own. How do we do that, though? Obviously we can't go through the entrance since it's closed and guarded. I know a way. Without wasting any more time, Sol leads the way, going through the back of the side of the school near the gardens. Oh, creepy. The edges, of course, were barricaded by a tall iron fence. Sol finds a bush and pushes it aside, revealing a gaping hole. Sorry. We're fine. It's fine. Well, that's quite convenient. Did you make this whole soul? Whole soul. You did. I did. There's a gaping hole under the bush. I was gonna make a joke, then I couldn't stop giggling. Don't look at me, RJ. Don't look at me. Oh, I like that Hugo digs holes, apparently. Hugo went ahead first through the hole. Sol waits for you first before following right after. No, stop looking at me. The three of you went past a few bushes and scrubs, leaving the leaves falling as you pass by them, the red and orange leaves scattering around and some making its way to your uniform before you all eventually made it out and met with pavement. Are you staring at me? No. My gentle heart. So, where do we go? Hugo thought for a moment, looking around before pulling out his phone. Suddenly he lets out a gasp, scrolling through his phone faster before gripping on Sol's shoulder, earning him a hiss from the taller male. Sherlock Holmes is out! My ears. Oh yeah, it's that detective movie I keep seeing on the television. I thought it wouldn't come out until next week. Did I see the date wrong? With that, Hugo started sprinting, leaving you with Sol behind. Oh, Archie stared at me so much. For the love of... Sol placed his hands on his hip before walking to where Hugo ran off to as you followed. Damn, what is that movie? Hugo kept tapping away on his phone. His shoulders went slump. Guess he did get the date wrong. Shoving his phone back in his pocket, he turned to you and Sol. He clasped his hands together and pulled the biggest puppy dog eyes you have ever seen. We have got to watch it. Can we, Scum? Can we, Shelly? Hugo begged. You can go ahead and watch the movie. I'm gonna roam the arcade while you're at it. This is it. This is where we get the plush room. Fuck Hugo. I'm sorry. I love you, Hugo, but fuck you. Hugo pouted. His eyes went half lidded and the sparkle in his eyes was gone. It's more fun when you're around. I know you like those crime videos you watch from time to time, so please. Soul, however, basing off of his expression, isn't in the mood. Hugo gives up and turns to you. How about you, Scum? Would you like to watch a movie with me? The ticket and food's on me, of course. Went to the arcade. I'm sorry, Hugo. Hugo shrugs. Alright, go on your little impromptu date then. Besides, I don't want a third wheel either way. Date? You're the one who decided we should skip class and do whatever we want. Yeah, and I want to go watch a movie. Well, don't let me stop you two. Hugo stuck out his tongue at Soul. The said male only rolled his eyes. I'll be heading in now. I'll just give you guys a call on where to meet. Sure. You and Hugo parted ways. He gave you both a wave before heading in a different direction. Soul turns to you. Should we get going? Of course! Yeah! The flashing neon lights of the arcade's exterior lights the way. The sound of each arcade machine reaching your ears. I've never been in here before. Is this place new? Not really. It's just hidden well within the city. I see. Do you get out a lot, Soul? You seem to know places. I know places because I get my ass dragged around by Hugo. Is that so? He laughed. Soul just shrugged as he shook his head. He takes out a few coins from his pocket before handing it to you. They were tokens. So, whoops. So, which one are you going for first? Wow, you came in prepared. As always. Come on. Soul holds out his hand and you accepted it. He held it tight with a light squeeze as you and him roam around the arcade. You and Soul went and played multiple arcade games. Some you win and some he does. But you often get the feeling he lets you win for the sake of you winning. Come on, Soul, this is like the 5th time I won. There ain't no way that you're this bad. Maybe you're just that good. You flatter me. Just as when you're about to insert another coin, however, you realize that you ran out of tokens. Soul takes notice of this, of course, and gives some of his to you. I'll go to the counter and grab a few more tokens. You don't mind staying here for a bit, right? Oh, how much should I pay you for the tokens? It's on me. Don't worry about it. Right here. Giving you one last look, he hurriedly went to the counter. When you looked around the area, the dinging sounds from various machines filled the arcade. From the corner of your eye, you spot a claw machine. Maybe playing a few games wouldn't hurt? Go into the claw machine, check the contents inside. Cat plushie, a Shiba Inu plushie, and a horse plushie. That looks so cute. Which one should I try to win? Let me think. The horse! The horse! The horse! I remember how Soul likes horses. Maybe you could try to win one for him. These are his tokens after all. We took out some of the tokens Soul gave you and inserted one in the coin slot. The machine whirs to life as you take the joystick in your left hand while hovering over the red button on your right. You are focused, eyeing the claw in its position, trying to align it with the horse plush. The claw takes hold of the plush, your eyes widen as you cross your fingers, hoping to catch it, but you are interrupted with a sudden smack to your ass. Jesus! You jerked and turned around. What the fuck? What? Okay. Well, what do we have here? Jimmy? You turned around and met with a tall figure, his cocky smirk on his face. He looks well off, like those typical spoiled rich kids that you see in movies. His hair a bit tousled with 2 men. You assume are his bodyguards beside him. What? He reeks of tobacco, making you gag. You said nothing but tried to move away from his sight. You were stopped by another tall figure. You're guessing who's with this asshole. Where do you think you're going there, sweetheart? You alone? Yeah, and I would pretty much prefer to be alone. This man, however, did not listen. No, he already smacked our ass. Why don't you come with me and I'll show you how these games are played. He raised his hand to reach your shoulders. Before he could touch you, however, you kicked him between his legs. Hell yeah! He doubled over and clenched his lower region, a groan escaping his lips. His goons were taken aback and rushed to help him. Now's my chance. Don't let her get away. What is happening? Okay. Multiple heavy footsteps were coming after you as you ran. You turned every corner you can, trying to make them lose you. But 3 against 1 is not a good matchup. Anyone, please, help me. You pleaded, but the multiple sound effects of music from each machine within the arcade drowns out your pleas. You cursed under your breath as you focused on running. All you can think about is the moment to get out. How big is the arcade? You managed to get out of the arcade, but you can still clearly hear the man and his goons on your trail. You looked around you and found a few toilet stalls. You rushed to it, got a stall, hurriedly opening and locking it as soon as you got in. This place stinks, but you didn't give it another thought as the beating of your heart rings through your ears. Yeah, like, is someone looking around at any of that? Tears filling up the corners of your eyes. You hear footsteps. Why? Why? Find her, the man's voice echoed. You tried to think of something and you thought of calling Soul. You quickly took out your phone. No signal. Ah. Are you for real right now? You can hear how aggressive they tore open each stall. They creep closer and closer to where you are. Anyone, please? Here you are. No, please. You've been a very bad girl, but don't worry, you can make it up to me by doing me a favor. I don't like this. I don't like this. Fuck you with your favors. I've been kind to you, but it seems you want to do it the hard way. Ooh. Oh, the trigger warnings. He forcefully grabbed the edge of your uniform. Your eyes went wide as your fingers went cold. You quickly grab a hold of his wrist as you try to push him away. He's too strong. You forcefully lifts up your uniform, revealing your stomach to him. You're gonna give me a good time. Okay, I don't want to read out loud all of this. Okay, holding her down. We are shouting. The tears that were hanging by finally fell down your cheeks as you tried to stop him from going any further. Two large men with him held you down as you tried to struggle, but to no avail. Your vision was slowly being blinded by the hot tears that were filling up. It's no use. His grip is too strong. Close your eyes shut. Please just end quickly. Oh, he got hit. We're back. We're safe. Judging from the impact, the man's body was jerked off of you as he was thrown to the side. You hear flesh hitting flesh. Hell yeah. And another one. And another one. Ooh. That's enough, Soul. Ah, Hugo! Oh. He says not yet. It's enough. You broke his nose already. No. Not broken yet. Wow, he's really going at it. Soul. That's enough. Let's come and eat your help. At the mention of your name, the familiar reddish-orange eyes went wide open before turning to you. So quickly went to your side, his eyes wide with shock before crouching down and giving you a hug, shoulders shaking as he embraces you. He said nothing, however, too stunned to speak to what transpired before you. The man now lay on the ground, a pool of blood seeping out of him. The rest of his goons passed out in a random corner. You looked up and met with an all too familiar eyes of Hugo. But they weren't the kind of ones you usually see on his face. Hugo's eye twitched as he sighed, trying to hide his visible irritation, but failing. He looks around at the mess Soul made before turning to check up on you. He said nothing, hands in his pockets, while he looks down at you in Soul's embrace. It's getting quite late. We should head home. Hugo tapped Soul's shoulder, making the tall male bury his face further between your neck before eventually letting him go. His eyes were bloodshot, his face red from either anger or worry. You weren't sure, but one thing's for sure, that this man before you cried. Oh, he freaked out. Reasonable to freak out, I should say. He cried for you. Well, that's what does us in. That's what everyone needs to learn, to cry more. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Shouldn't have left you. How long was the token line? Soul. We'll be nice. We'll say thank you. Oh. You reach out to cup his cheek. He flinches at the touch. Tears that he was trying to hold back is now floating freely down his cheeks. Aw. He eventually relaxed as he closed his eyes and leaned onto your hand as he held it. I don't know what I'd do if... It's okay. It's fine. Here. Beside you, Hugo extended his hand for you to take. You notice how on its other hand is the same horseflesh you tried to win back in that crane game. You took Hugo's hand as he helped you get up. Soul stands as well, but backs away from you a few steps. We should head back home. It's late after all. Didn't you say that? Both you and Soul don't say anything, but nod along. Hugo gives both of you a smile before walking away. Soul kept a firm hold of your hand, seemingly afraid to let you go. Hugo lets out a sigh. I guess we can't get in that arcade anymore. Those guys might come back to teach us a lesson. if they ever come back, I'll get them more than just a broken nose. Eh, you're pretty scary right now, Soul. Good. I like to keep it that way. Hugo shakes his head. He rummaged through his pockets before handing Soul something. He didn't quite see what it was, but judging on the scowl of Soul's face, he doesn't like it. I told you these don't work anymore. It's because you aren't taking it, you fool. Now take it tonight. Oh. Is it medicine? Soul grumbled like a child who got scolded before taking whatever Hugo gave to him and tucked it in his pockets. Anyway, your place is just around the corner. You should head back as soon as possible. I'll be taking Scum home. Soul's eyes narrowed. He went from holding your hand to wrapping his arm around yours in a possessive manner. As he leaned closer and glared at Hugo. Guard dog mode. No, I can walk her home. Clearly you're not getting good enough condition to fight again. I can fight again. There was something in Hugo's eyes that made your blood run cold. The usual happy-go-lucky expression he had on his face was gone. You take a look at Soul, notice how unfazed he seemed, as if challenging Hugo. Uh-oh. I think Hugo might kill, or Soul might cue Hugo. Kill. Jesus fucking Christ. Wouldn't it be cool if I could talk? Wouldn't that be great? Oh, we're gonna let Soul walk, because I'm worried that Soul's gonna kill him otherwise. Both of them looked at you in surprise. Hugo seems to disapprove of your choice, while Soul's whole demeanor shifted from shocked to cocky as he slowly turned his head to his shorter friend. Oh. What is happening? What is happening? You heard her. Hugo, I can handle this. I can walk Scum home. Scum, trust me? I want you to trust me too. Hugo looks at his friend in wild disbelief, almost as if offended by what Soul said. He took notice of the way his fist tightened, causing his veins to bulge out from the force he exerted. Eventually he gives up with a sigh. Hugo turns to you. It's fine for you, Scum, then I can't force you. The shorter male didn't say anything afterwards. He turned on his heel. Hugo walks away. You and Soul stare at his back until the figure becomes smaller and the lamppost no longer illuminates the path that he walked on. Both of these are not fun options. Is he always like that? Rubbing the redness away from his eyes, he turns to you. Like what? Like, really bossy? Especially towards you? I thought he's a happy-go-lucky type. Guess you can't judge a book by its cover. Soul didn't say anything. His gaze lingered on the now empty path where Hugo had headed. He takes your hand and wraps his fingers around yours with a smile on his face. He looks happy. What matters is that you're here with me right now. Shall we get going? Oh, he's crazy. Please excuse the place condition right now. I didn't expect a visitor to come this evening. He said with a bit of a chuckle, rubbing the back of your head as you welcomed Soul inside your apartment. I don't mind. Soul eventually takes a step inside your apartment, but did not go any step further and remained by the door. Soul's figure was a bit stiff as he lingered by the entrance. Maybe he needs some convincing that it's alright to come in? Taking a hold of Soul's hands, you led him to the living room and made him sit on the couch. Upon taking his seat, Soul placed down the horseflesh you bought for him on the table beside him. Yeah, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He's a little crazy. His whole demeanor, however, still remained rigid. You don't need to be so stiff, Soul. Just make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm just not used to being in other people's spaces, much less their homes. Really? Not even Hugo's? Soul just shakes his head. You begin to ponder. Ponder your orbs. However, your train of thought was cut short when Soul started flexing his knuckles. That's right! Is that what you're doing? Wait here. I'll go grab the medical kit. Don't you dare strain your fists any further. You don't really have to do all this, Scum. You tutted, placing your hands on your hips. My house, my rules. Plus, I did insist on treating your wounds. I don't remember that, but sure. Soul didn't say anything, but let his hands relax. He still looked stiff, but through your words, he loosened his shoulders just a tad bit. You hurriedly run to your room. I should get a medical kit. You hurriedly run to your room and into the bedroom, or bathroom connected to it, and took out the first aid kit before returning to the living room. Once you returned, you took the empty space right beside Soul. Hands. You say that like I'm some sort of dog. Well? Despite his remark, he did what you told. He He did as you told him and showed you his hands. Taking his hand on yours, your eyes furrowed at the gash and a few blisters adorned his once pale knuckles. Taking a disinfectant and placing a cotton from the kit, you lightly dabbed the formula on the cotton. Does my sting a bit? Sol didn't say anything. Taking it as a sign to proceed, you gently dabbed the cotton on the bruises and on his knuckles, earning a few hisses here and there from him. He did the same to his other hand, but this time he was silent, seemingly used to the stinging pain. After disinfecting the wound, you took out some gauze, bandages, and wrapped it around his knuckles. You were busy wrapping the bandages that you failed to notice how he kept looking at you while you were patching him up. You only realized this when you finished wrapping his hands. You looked up and your eyes were met with reddish-orange orbs. The orbs! Orbs that reminded you of summer daisies are of a rare breed. Sorry. But the word summer doesn't really quite fit him. Instead, he reminds you of the harsh and cold winds of fall. Despite his icy exterior, he has shown you nothing but warmth, like a fuzzy scarf to shield you from the freezing autumn winds. He hasn't let go of his hands from mirrors yet. It's fine, it's fine. We'll be romantic. You have no idea what made you do what you did next, but you raised his hands and yours and pressed your lips on the bandaged knuckles. He did not jerk his hand away, but the look of pure shock was displayed on his face. His face went red while his eyes grew wide like saucers. Sol let out a low and nervous cough, tilting his head away in a shy manner. I would be so uncomfortable with that. Not a kid anymore, you know. It makes you feel better, right? He let out a chuckle. His silence was enough of a confirmation. You eventually let go of his hands and he pouted when you did. You sit up on the couch, your gaze lingers on his sitting figure. Do you need anything else? A couple water drops? No, there's no need. Oh, come on, Sonny. A brow raised with mild curiosity at the familiar nickname you uttered. Sonny? Yeah, Sonny. There was a slight pause. The air was still, and you felt nervousness starting to crawl up your skin. You rubbed the back of your neck. Sorry, I guess it's quite too bold for me to casually give you a nickname all of a sudden, after kissing your knuckles? No, it's just that I'm used to hearing that from Hugo's mouth. Well, only from Hugo. How about calling me something else? You don't mind a nickname? If Hugo's gonna give me one, why not you? Ooh, let's give him a nickname. Ooh. Solitaire? Yeah, Solitaire. Quite fitting for someone like you, huh? You nudge and wink at him. Sol merely smiles and shakes his head. He looks up at you and admires your face. No, you can't roll with that. Sure, Scum. You can call me Solitaire whenever you like. Now that's done. Oh, that was him. With a hand over his heart, he gives you a knowing look, gaze serious as if he's about to make a vow. Let me repay your kindness. For what? Sol approves. Sol shouldn't approve. He should disapprove. Hey, you don't have to, Sol. It's the least I can do as your friend. I insist. I can make you dinner tonight. I won't argue against that. That won't be necessary. Or you could protest, however. You feel your stomach grumble. The sound was loud enough to be heard, which earned a low chuckle from Salt, just like the Cyberbird games. I can cook. Not on my watch, mister. Your hands need the rest. I'll do the cooking. Before Sol could retort to insist on cooking, you pulled him up from a seat and started pushing him towards the kitchen dining room. Is there anything you like and don't like? Nothing really. As long as it's from you. Freak! Really, I'm fine. You've done enough for me already. I'm just doing this to return the favor. You shake your head no before forcing him back to his seat. Sol sighed and gave up, propping his elbows on the wooden table as he looked at your figure. Happy that he complied, you turned to stare at your kitchen sink. What the fuck are you gonna cook? You never had a guest over before. Heck, even crows never entered your apartment. You had no other friends to even call over to hang out. Are you really this lonely? Yes. Were you really in the middle of fighting your own thoughts? Or what? Sorry. While you're in the middle of fighting your own thoughts, Soul hummed a tune. You hear him drag his chair to stand up, and soon you find his tall figure now looming behind you. He held his hands behind his back as he inspected your cupboards. Seems like your kitchen is quite empty. Well, it's not completely empty. Reaching out towards the cupboard above you, he pulls out a box of curry powder and gave it to you. Oh, this could work. I look forward to it. An idea then struck you. What if you help me make those cute What if you help me make those cute food? Or like the ones that you made this afternoon? You mean the bento box I made for Hugo? I can. But does that mean I can work in the kitchen? Not a single finger? Ugh. Soul merely pouted. He placed the box of curry on the counter as he crossed his arms and leaned on his back, his gaze not leaving your figure. Alright, Pumpkin, let's see what you got. Don't call me Pumpkin! I'll lead as you go. Using your phone, you searched up how to make simple curry, making a list of ingredients that you thankfully had on hand before preparing everything on the counter. Soul checks around and lets out an improving hum. Oh, you got us smacked with an ad. Alright, I'm gonna bother RJ. Oh wow, that was a really short ad. Okay. I only had to bother RJ with 2 messages. Soul checks around and lets out an improving hum. It begins by telling you to prepare the ingredients. Thankfully you have most of it lying around. I thought we just covered that, did we not? Okay. You wash the potatoes and carrots and proceed to peel the skin off one by one. Soul still remains right beside you, his arms now crossed as he observes. When you set aside the vegetables, however, he suddenly takes out a knife from your knife holder along with your chopping board, then moves to chop the vegetables. You were about to protest, but stopped yourself when he gave you a sharp side-eye, a smirk on his face as he cut them neatly and at equal sizes. He has experience, and he made it clear. Show off. After cutting them, he sets the chopped vegetables in a bowl and waits for the rest from you. Could have handled it on my own, you know. Yeah, you can, but what if I'm stubborn like that? Well, at least this makes it work faster. You eventually finished peeling the carrots and took the knife from Soul, shooing him away and taking his task. Soul complied and went back to leaning on the counter, all edgily like an edgelord. He looked at the perfectly cut tomatoes and potatoes and carrots. Did you make the flower-shaped carrots? What? How did you do this? Do what? This! It's so cute! Do you want me to teach you? Wait, let me do it first. I want to see if I can replicate it. Grabbing a piece of the sliced carrot, you try to replicate the flower-shaped carrot Soul did. However, every time you managed to cut one, a piece of the petal would fall off. Again, and again, and again. Blah! You placed the knife down and lifted your sleeves up and continued on. You were too focused on trying to cut a piece of carrot to fully realize that a large pair of bandaged hands were now on top of yours. We're getting the fucking, pottery scene with cooking. Soul's figure loomed behind you, his torso pressed close against your back as he leaned his face right next to yours. Break! Break! His breath fanned your cheek while you stand frozen. You feel the heat slowly rising to your cheeks. Ah! Ah! Calm down, let me help you. I wonder if 10's the highest it can go. With his guidance, he leads you with the utmost care. Don't cut too much, that's how you manage to accidentally cut off a petal. Do this instead. Couldn't focus, your heart was beating too fast. Da-dun, da-dun. The rumble his chest makes whenever he speaks echoes through you. We are thin. You can feel his heartbeat as well. It was beating as fast like yours. You let him lead you like a puppet to its master. There, this looks better. You were too distracted by his overall presence that you couldn't realize how the once round carrot was now in the shape of a blossom. It only hit you once he stepped out, his arms were around you gone, and he was off of your back. You looked down at the masterpiece before you. You make them so pretty. I think you can make them prettier. Just follow what I did. That's a problem. I wasn't paying attention. You weren't paying attention, were you? You avoided his gaze. He lets out a chuckle. Make sure you get. I think that's alright. We're running out of carrots anyway. I just need to chop up the rest of the potatoes and we're done prepping. Want me to help you with potatoes? Sit down, mister. While you were cooking, with Sol's aid and the instructions, of course, said man took the honor of making orange juice, claiming it was less of a risk. Since he kept insisting to help, you let him be. Sol sets off the table while you turn off the stove. The curry's aroma fills the dining room. The curry was hot, and steam rose from the pot as you carried it by the handles with the mittens on your hands. Then you set it on the table. Sol sat across the table, the orange juice he made in a pitcher now settled on the table, as well as 2 glass cups. Orange juice with curry seems like a weird combination. You sit down in your seat as well. Thank you for the food. I want to see the... Oh, that's how I could do it! Okay, look at the little cat! Oh, you hate orange juice? Orange juice is like fucking nectar from the gods! I just think it's weird that it's with dinner? Orange juice good, orange juice great. Not with curry. I don't know. This is a weird choice. I'm gonna pretend it's soda. Still a weird choice. Thank you for the food. Ah, it smells so good. It is so cute, look at it. Oh look, you can see the little flower. It's wearing it. Without wasting time, you took a spoonful of warm curry and rice, blowing the steam away and then plopping it in your mouth. That sounds yummy. Oh, he's just staring at us. What a freak! What a freak! He let out a joyful hum. Sol just chuckled as he ate his own portion of curry. You should write down the spices you made me add. I didn't think they would taste this good. I'll listen down when you're done eating. Couldn't argue with that. Food. You discarded the dishes in the sink after dinner. You and Sol sat in the kitchen for a while, somehow finding yourselves talking about food as you drank what was left of the orange juice. I think you're valid in your choices. I still think it's nectar of the gods, but you just have a different nectar of the gods. Sol's still making himself comfortable on the dining table. I can send you a few of my favorite dishes if you want to try them. That would be great! I'd like to learn more from you if given the time. Of course, anything for you, Scum. Sol smiles at you. You look back at what happened today and how much he's been with you. From making you feel safe, to making you laugh, to actually protecting you. And now he just casually helped you make dinner even though you just bandaged his wound like any other normal person would do. Cooking with him, dining with him, it all seems so domesticated. He is having the time of his fucking life. Like you and him are... You took another swig of the orange juice, chugging it down to the last drop, catching Sol by surprise. You feel your heartbeat quicken and the familiar warmth of your face heating up again. You let out a yawn. Oh, excuse me. What time is it? It's 8:45. Oh, Jesus! Sorry, it's 8:41 over here. How late already? I've been taking too much of your time, Sol. You still need to go home. It's a school day. Oh, did he drug the orange juice? Did he drug the orange juice? You rub your eyes, another yawn escapes your lips. Now don't worry about it too much, Scum. I feel quite happy you let me in and treated my wounds. Not to mention sharing dinner as well. Sol wanted to say something, but he stops himself before he can utter the words in his mind. Instead, he leans in closer. His eyes were half-lidded as he looked at you expectantly. Why are there 3 of them? Your head is getting dizzy. You seem tired. No. I'm fine. Let me get you the door. Your eyelids felt heavy from the sudden creeping drowsiness that wrapped around you. You rubbed your eye, trying to shake off that heavy feeling. Your hand lost its strength, something slipped and the glass shattered on the floor. Beyond your fading vision, you caught Sol's smile, his hand pushing away the glass of orange juice that had never been touched. Oh, now we're in his POV. He looks at her figure now, passed out on the table before him. He turns to stare at the pitcher half filled with orange juice as he crunches the packet of pills in his pocket. The very same packet Hugo gave to him before coming to the apartment! Is it like a sedative? 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 Whatever. Like a normal medication for Soul to take, but he just put a shit ton in orange juice. Taking the picture in his glass of orange juice, he drained it all out and placed them in the sink before returning to Scum's side, not minding the shards of broken glass he's stepping on. Freak. He gently lifts Scum's hand, then drops it. Just like a motionless rag doll, she remains unconscious. A smirk makes its way to his face. He gently placed his hands on her shoulders before leaning in close to her neck, taking a deep inhale of her scent. He shivers in delight. He gently wraps Scum's arm around his shoulder before carrying them in his arms like a groom to a spouse. Okay. Let's get you to bed. He entered Scum's room, seemingly familiar with the land, as if he's been through here multiple times. He carefully walks towards the bed and gently lays Scum down on her duvet. The corner of his lips turned upward, his eyes twitching. He then proceeds to lie down next to her sleeping figure, wrapping his arms around her abdomen and pulling her body close to his, spooning her in the process. He buries his face in her neck. Like before, his soul inhales Scum's scent like an addictive perfume. The shiver went down his spine as he could feel his pants tighten from the pure scent of his blood. Can you tell sometimes I read it out loud before it processes in my brain? Haha. Oh, he's laughing a lot. Oh, my darling Scum. I feel so flattered that you trust me so much. Despite just meeting me yesterday. Isn't this enough proof that you're meant to be mine, as I was meant to be yours? Your soul resonates with mine. He makes himself comfortable, his eyes still wrapped around, keeping his gaze on the apple of his eye. The wicked smile still settled on his face. He snuggled closer, hearing Scum's steady heartbeat through the veins of her neck. I love you so much. I want you to realize. I want your soul to realize. I know it'll take some time, but I'm getting impatient. When will you realize? He asked under his breath, as if hoping for some answer from the sleeping woman caged within his arms, but only her soft and steady breathing filled his ears. He tightened his hold around her. His eyes didn't flutter shut as his thoughts kept him up till midnight. Someday, one day, you'll learn the truth. Oh, that's where the demo ends. Okay. Okay, alright. I think that's a good place to call it for the night with just one ending. I wanted to do a lot more, but it's already almost 9 o'clock, and my throat hurts. And I don't know why. I really like the menu music. It's really fun. I wonder if the pink man is Soul's father or something like that. But, I'm thinking. So, I don't know when the next time I'll stream this is, because obviously we didn't go down any crow paths besides the weird romance thing for a split second, and then we just kind of cock-blocked him immediately within that same scene. And I'm kind of curious on, like, just the small differences, like, what if we didn't do this? What if we did go watch the movie? That kind of thing. So I don't know when I'll stream this. Maybe I'll do the not safe for work patch and do just like a friends only stream of that, since I can't really stream that publicly anyway, but the creator also said they don't want that streamed and they don't want any of the paid content streamed like in a public manner. The Discord server only has like 10 people max, so I think it'd be fine if I did like a friend stream to see who wanted to join that and see any of that. But we might do that instead. I don't know. I'm thinking. The menu music is fucking bussin'. It was fun. Did not meet my expectations at all, but not in a bad way. I had no idea what this game was going to be about. It completely was so different from what I had imagined this game was about. Not a bad thing. Just took me by surprise. Farm lore backstory, very surprising for me. I am surprised that they're doing a rich versus the poor, but I guess that really goes into our backstory, I guess. Probably ties into Soul and Crow as well, because Crow seems rich to me. Crow seems rich and like he's just hanging around. Maybe the magenta person is Crow's father. That'd be interesting. Don't know. Don't know. I feel like we didn't get a lot of stuff from that. Like, we got to meet Soul and we got to meet Crow. The other characters were very, very, very background, except for Hugo. Hugo definitely has like a big past with Soul. I'm surprised I got to call him Solitaire. I hope they like... It'd be so fun to be playing the game and it brings up that nickname and it's at the worst moment possible for that. But I don't know. I'll think about playing this some more. I might play it on my own. I might think about it for a while and then just randomly do a stream of it. But Sunday we are going to finish a Decarnation. I don't know if I'm going to do a random stream in between here and then. Probably not. I still got to work on things. I'm researching about Twitch stuff and trying to figure out a good overlay setup for streams and everything. Man, I like this music. I'm going to find this music online. But that was that. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you guys for encouraging me to get this. I'm interested in when they add more stuff. That'd be fun. But goodbye. Have a good night.